games in New York with a tremendous offensive output. The Oriole hitters, not much there either. So you regroup. Orioles stay on the road. Now it's the White Sox in Chicago. Wade Miley, last time out in Baltimore against them, not one, but 2 times hit on live drive comebacks. Get out of the way, Wade, and get them out. It's the Orioles Unmasked, and we welcome you to Chicago as the Orioles open up a 4-game set against the White Sox here on a summer night. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Thorne, and welcome for the Orioles. The hopes getting out of the losing streak they are in, during which they have struggled both at the plate and on the mound. They take on a White Sox team that also is having its struggles. The Orioles hope that is going to be a positive for them. To do that, the Orioles starters, though, have got to give them some quality innings. Take a look at what's gone on with the Oriole pitching. In the starters part of it, simply a lot of innings that have been worked by the starters? No. That's what's lacking. There is no depth. You take a look at the first month and then a weekend, not bad. But since then, everything has gone downhill. The numbers are bad. 1-loss column. The ERA has jumped up by more than 2. And the Orioles offense, well, that's gone down a couple of clicks. You put all that together, and you got a ball club right now, Jim Palmer, trying to stay above 500.
Yeah, and I think we saw a little bit of that in New York, in the sense that, you know, you had a 6-run inning on Saturday, 5-run inning, first innings, and all of a sudden your offense goes, oh boy, we're going to have to kind of play for ourselves. You can't really play. Not that the Orioles play a lot of small ball, but hit the ball the other way. You know, take the extra bases. So again, anybody that's ever watched this game, Gary, you're going to be a good team. You're outscoring the other team. And again, over the stretch after being 22-10, they're just getting outscored by almost 2 runs a game, and on the road 10-20. It's just unacceptable. Starting pitcher has to be better. How do you do that? Well, I throw strikes. I throw quality strikes. I look at where the glove is, and over the weekend I'm sitting in California and I'm going, not even close, with the exception of Dylan Bundy. So take a page out of his book. Miley's certainly capable of doing that. Throw some strikes, throw strike number 1, and take your chances.
All right. Well, the Orioles are losing. That's part of a baseball season. When we come back, we'll talk with the Orioles captain, Adam Jones, about what it's like for a player and for him right now. And is brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. It is a summer night here in Chicago for the Orioles. They come in having lost their last 4. For Adam Jones, what do you do as a baseball player when the club's struggling a little bit and you're the leader of that team? We talked with him today. Adam, there's no such thing as 162 games winning. There are streaks when you win, streaks when you lose, and that's the nature of this beast. From a player's perspective, with the club that's struggling a little bit right now, just how you deal with that and what you got to do to just move on. Well,
you understand that it's part of the game. Obviously, it's the part that you don't like to deal with, nor do you like to address. It's the elephant in the room. The last couple of weeks we haven't played top-notch baseball. We went through some good spells of good baseball, some spells of not so good baseball, but that's a part of the season. That's part of 162 games. You're going to have your spells where you look good for 40, you look bad for 40, and then you just got to figure out those other 82 and how to match that and become winning and just win in those situations. And like I said, the last few weeks have not been fun. I'm sure our fans have, due to their comments that I've seen, read, and heard from other people saying, haven't been the most parent-pleasing, I would say. I don't think too many parents would approve of some of their kids' messages, but it comes with it. It comes with the territory. We're out there grinding. I know, like I said, it's not been pretty the last few weeks, but you go through spells like that during the season, because once we go off and reel off a quick, 8 out of 10, or go back and do what we did in April and win the first 6 or 7 series of the season like we did, people forget all about it. So what we need to do is just gain our composure, get back between these lines, and do what has been our model, and that's just execution. Right now we've just been playing some sloppy ball all over, and when it comes to pitching, hitting, and defense, it's like I said, I'm not going to single out any specific thing. We've just been playing bad as a group. So let's get back to to playing good baseball, fundamentally sound baseball, throwing to the correct bases, fielding the ball, driving runners in, throwing strikes, and getting back to like my favorite Joe Angel saying, in the win column.
A special added burden for you, or not a burden, but do you think you need to do something in times like this to talk to guys or do anything that you wouldn't do if you were winning?
Well, I mean, obviously when you're losing, people think you need to point fingers and you need to sit everybody down, but these grown men in here, we've all been through the grind together. You know, most of us have been here since 2012 as a unit, so I think we all kind of understand what we need to do. But at the same time, you know, a friendly reminder is always good. And for myself also, I don't want anybody to feel like just because I'm a vet, or JJ's a vet, or O'Day's a vet, or CD's a vet, that you can't come up and talk to us, or you can't suggest something for us. We're human. We're in this together. And if you have information, hey, please share it, because like I said, if you're here and you got information and you're not sharing it with the next person, you're not here for the right reason, because the only reason we're all here is to win.
Last question. Physically, how are you?
I'm good. If I'm in the lineup, I'm good. I'm battling just battling my body, which is awesome. You see how now I'm getting to really see how tough I really am. I try to say I'm not that 162 game guy anymore. That's long gone. But when I'm in there, I'm gonna give it my best. I just think that taking the necessary days off is going to prolong myself, especially getting into August and September, because we all know those days are very important, and days off at those points are very limited. So I just think getting the proper rest early in the season, well, now we're in the middle part of the season, is beneficial, because, like I said, I'm not getting no younger, and I want to be strong for the latter haul. Adam
Jones is not getting younger.
No.
That's a breakthrough story right there.
Yeah, I'm not getting no younger, man. It's been an adjustment. Wake up. I used to wake up and nothing hurts. Now you wake up and you take 10, 15 minutes to gather your thoughts and see what leg you want to move first.
He said, really, to be honest, we all walked in with him today, came on the bus. He said, hey, nothing that a good month of rest wouldn't cure. But again, he's going to play every day, and he is the leader in so many different ways. But he's not going to point anybody out, but I am, as a former starting pitcher, you got to make your guys think they have a chance to win. And hopefully that will start again.
Going to find out here tonight in Chicago. All right, BGE Home, Baltimore's home team for heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical. Why would you call anyone else? It is a humid night, 93 degrees, little breeze, not much here tonight, blowing out to left. Humidity at 34%, feels much stickier than that. It's been a mostly sunny day, and the same holds true for the rest of the week. Take a look at the Orioles starting lineup, brought to you by Southwest. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. It'll be Smith, Jones, and Machado, Trumbo, Davis, and Scope, Mancini, Castillo, and Hardy. Manny is back in. They waited until he took BP to be sure he was ready to go. He said he was. He's back.
And that lineup will face Mike Pelfrey. So ground ball pitcher. He can throw double plays with the best of them. But then again, he also, when he's not pitching well, puts a lot of runners on. Deceiving record at 2-5 with actually a low ERA of 3.80. And again, this is a guy that last year went 4-10 for the Tigers, tried to make their ball club, was released at the end of spring training, and signed on with the White Sox. So because of various infields to Rodon, or injuries to Rodon and Shields, he gets a chance to pitch. And so don't look at the 2-5, because all the batting averages, the runner and scoring position numbers are pretty much where you want them to be.
Yeah, he's got numbers, you're right, that don't match the record. Smith up against him has had a tremendous career against him. He's a .450 lifetime average off Pelfrey in the leadoff spot for the Orioles, and the pitch will be taken down low for a ball, and we are underway. The Orioles swept the 3-game series in Baltimore against the White Sox. Have been on the road here, losing that makeup game to the Nationals, the 3 in New York. Orioles have gone 4-6 so far in the month of June. Pitch on the way to him, and that is there for a strike.
Yeah, the average fastball's around 91, and but again, I watched his last game, a game he pitched very well against the Rays in Tampa. They didn't play very well behind him defensively. They would lose 3-1, but he got up to 92, 93. But he's a sinker, slider, changeup. There's another fastball, 92. And then what he also added this year, since he became a White Sox, talking to Don Cooper, his pitching coach, a curveball. Doesn't throw it much.
Just enough to keep you honest.
Well, just that, yeah, not enough to let everybody know you have it.
Yeah. Against the Orioles, 6th career start. He is 2-0 with a 4.23 ERA against the Orioles lifetime. Shift on against Seth Smith. The delivery to him and a floater.
No, there it is. They floated that curveball right. But you when a guy's 9 for 20 lifetime off you figure, well, let's see. Normally I throw the splitter change and a slider and a fastball. Maybe I'll try another pitch.
33-year-old veteran. Got some great size out there. He's 6'7", 240 out of Wichita, Kansas. And he will try to come inside and will miss with that. For Pelfrey, the walk department, he's walked 16 in 45 innings, but he's given up fewer hits than innings pitched. Always a great sign for a pitcher. The 45 innings, 39 hits. StatCast, powered by AWS, showing you the shift that's on here against Seth Smith. And the pitch on the way to him. He takes it, and he is going to be on.
Yeah, follow that ball all the way to the corner. We saw Pelfrey early on when he was with the Mets. He used to throw 95, 96. That's what we were talking about. And again, had to make this club after being released. And again, didn't come till the end of April. And then since then, especially the last, 3-4 ball games, outstanding numbers across the board.
Adam Jones in the number 2 spot again. He'd batted third with Manny Machado out. Now Adam moves back to the spot he's been in much of the year. For Adam against the White Sox in the first series, he had a couple of hits in 13 at bats. Against Pelfrey, good numbers. He is 6 for 15. And a ground ball that's going to go to short. Anderson, and that's going to do it. Sanchez and a double play.
Yeah, the ability to sink the ball. And there is the defense. Cabrera, Willie Garcia, Abisail, Garcia in right. So the Garcia boys center in right. Frazier, Anderson, Sanchez, Valmer Sanchez, and then Jose Abreu. Evan Smith doing the catching tonight for the White Sox.
And Manny back in the lineup. Will stand back in after missing 4 games. Looked pretty good in batting practice. Took full swings, as Buck Showalter said. First couple, he just kind of tested to see what the wrist was going to feel like. That left wrist. He's got wrapped up pretty tight. 4 for 11, a homer, 2 RBIs against the White Sox this year. Pelfrey's delivery is in there for a strike. Manny has had an outstanding career against the White Sox with a .324 lifetime average, and he's had 7 home runs, 4 of them here in this ballpark. The pitch by Pelfrey is going to miss inside. Regarding the double plays, what Jim was talking about, Pelfrey ranks 3rd. He's now got 59 double plays induced going back to 2015, 3rd over that period of time. And he gets another ground ball against the shift, knocked down Sanchez, and they can't pick it at first base. Abreu couldn't hang on.
Yeah, did pretty much everything to get the out, and then again Abreu, a very, very good hitter. All right, here, I mean, great range, gets up quickly, throw not particularly accurately as it bounces, and again, because it's short, hops him so far out in front. Tough play for Abreu.
Would have had him if he could have held it. And it is a base hit. So Manny comes back with an infield single, and the Orioles keep the inning alive. Here is Mike Trumbo. Mark back to the DH role with Manny out. He'd been moved around right field, first base, and some DH work. Infield shifted on him. And they really jam up the left side. Boy, there are 2 big holes out there, one between first and second, and one between second and the shortstop.
Well, I mean, nobody ever really plays the center fielder that far over, and maybe you got righty versus righty. You have a sinker baller. The one thing that Mike Pelfrey's had to do is work better to his glove side. That's the big change he tried to make. He's more comfortable on the arm side, which is into righties away from lefties.
And the pitch is going to be there for a strike. And Pelfrey gets it in with a runner on at first base. 0-2 count with 2 down. Hit directions for Mark. They give him a big gap in center field, really. Straightaway center's wide open and over towards right. Everything's shaded to the left side, both the infield and the outfield. Pelfrey a look, runner goes. 0-2 delivery down low. Here's the throw down. The Orioles are going to do a lot of that if they get the chances, because against Pelfrey, base stealers are now 11 for 11.
Yeah, big guys. You mentioned 6'7", and of course, and I guess they called that a strikeout.
I didn't think it was.
Yeah, Smith came right up in front of him. I thought he blocked the umpire. Apparently not.
Orioles have lost more road games than any other team in the American League East. The White Sox, they'll have Anderson, Cabrera, Abreu, Garcia, Frazier, and Davidson. Willie Garcia, Kevin Smith, and Yolmer Sanchez. For Garcia, month of June, not just the month, he's having a great year.
And Wade Miley, well, give him a chance. We talked about that's your job as a starting pitcher the last week or so. That really hadn't been the case. Target practice, couple of line drives, one off the wrist, one off the thigh, and then walk on the wide side. 63 innings, 34 walks. And that gets the pitch count up, and that gets him out of the game.
So we'll see if the White Sox are patient against him in light of those numbers. Anderson, the shortstop, leadoff batter. See the starts, short innings, pitch taken down low. Anderson is a 3-for-4 lifetime against Wade Miley. He's really held the left-handers down. Right-handers much better. 56% ground balls, and that one's going to be taken up and away, and Wade will start out behind on the count 3-0. Anderson had a 3-for-9 against the Orioles in the games played in Baltimore. Leadoff batter. White Sox don't really have one who's fit that mold so far this year. They have moved the leadoff batters around in the lineup, trying to find somebody that anchor the leadoff spot, if in baseball there is such a thing anymore as a prototypical leadoff.
Well, there's a perfect example right there. I mean, that's the 5th straight fastball, and he just chased ball 4. So a young hitter, former #1 draft choice. I mean, he's got a lot of tools. He can hit home runs, he can hit doubles, struggling a little bit defensively already this year, but can play a little bit.
And a chopper that's going to go to Manny. So he'll get his first chance right away in the field and will make the play, and Anderson out of there.
Yeah, take a look at the Oriole defense. They come in pretty in the middle of the pack. Mancini, Jones, and Smith. That's the outfield. Machado, Hardy. They both won either platinum gold gloves or gold gloves. Scope, Davis, and then Wellington Castillo, at least initially.
Keep in mind on Manny at third, it's not about throwing, because it's the glove hand that's been the problem. So throwing the baseball should not be. It's about what he can do at the plate.
Well, he's got to be pretty pleased. Got a single, went the other way, which tells me that that's where his strength is. You know, he's right center, and then the home runs come when they hang breaking balls or he gets into his count. So good start. Single to right.
Here is Melky Cabrera. The veteran goes to the gap in right center field, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. He found the Bermuda Triangle, and Cabrera now 7 for 14 off Wade Miley, a .500 average against him.
Yeah, I think one of your approaches as you look at Miley, and you know, in fact, Todd Steverson, the hitting instructor, said, "Boy, watching all the film, you don't know how long he's going to go." But look at the Orioles starters: Miley 2 1/3, Asher 4, Bundy. Of course, he's been Mr. Consistent. Tillman really gets knocked around 6 innings, 6 runs in the first inning, and then Gausman yesterday not being able to do what they want to do.
The bullpen thus being overused, and you don't have your closer and you don't have Darren O'Day.
And you don't get to the part of the bullpen that's your best, and that's the late innings.
Abreu will take the pitch. Abreu's got a 4 for 14, a home run off the left-hander Wade Miley for Jose Abreu.
You know, Todd Steverson saying, you know, we watched the film of Wade Miley. He said he's not pitching inside as much anymore. And I think when Wellington Castillo was out, Caleb Joseph saying, you know, you got a pretty good sinker. You talked about the ground balls, 55% grounders if he's not striking them out. When you pitch in, boy, I mean, you better get it in. And second, third time through the lineup, it becomes much more difficult to be successful in there.
2-0 delivery on the way. He is facing one of the best against left-handed hitters. The White Sox have 2 of the top 10 averages against left-handers in the American League. And right at near the top of Abreu, he's got a .400 batting average against left-handers. That is third best. And Avisail Garcia is hitting .456 off left-handers. That is number 1. Abreu will take it. It is there for a strike.
Now there's your lowest strike, Paul Emmel, and take a look at your Mercedes pitch cast. Abreu was thinking, I'm going to hit 3-1. Ball's definitely low. I mean, you had to bring it up about 4 inches. So that gracious call gets him back into the count.
2-ball, 2-strike count. Infield looking for the ground ball. Trying to get the double play here. Not a big lead at first base for Cabrera, and that one is going to miss down low. So the count will go to 3-2, and this is a typical Wade Miley start as he's getting behind hitters and then taking the long count against the White Sox. Last time, 2/3 of an inning, that's when he left the game, being struck by the back-to-back line drives in that start in Baltimore against Chicago. He's got a 1-3 lifetime record, ERA of 5.8 against them. That's going to be to short, handled, no play at first. Hardy just had to take a little hop step and got it.
Well, Abreu 19 for 40 against the Orioles, and it looked like it was going to be 20 or 41. Right on the nose, but right at the shortstop. And they weren't running because of the one thing about Wade Miley, he may walk too many people, but you don't run on him. Run at your own risk.
Exactly the opposite in the starters here in this game as far as stealing bases. Against Miley, base stealers 2 for 3. Against Pelfrey, they're 10 for 10.
And now make it, well, yeah, would have been 11 for 11.
Yeah. Here's Avisail Garcia, their most consistent player all season long, both in the field and at the plate. He'll go to Manny Machado. Scope's going to cover second. They get the force out, and a good inning for Miley. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on base scoreless after 1 from Chicago. 500 for being selected, 500 more for every Orioles home run hit tonight. Play Home Run Rich's Scratch House, win up to $50,000, or enter non-winning tickets for a chance to be the contestant of the game. Go to mdlottery.com/home run. Elwood, Blues brother that you are, good luck.
Yeah, everybody talking about down at the cage. And warmer, as you mentioned, 93, 94 going in. Balls flying. That's usually what happens here. Tough to hit in April and May, and then hitters some big smiles on their face.
Pitch on the way will be taken by Davis. Chris had a home run, 4 for 9 against the White Sox. A homer, a couple of RBIs in those 3 games. The Orioles won in Baltimore. That ball will be fouled back. Shift on against him. Outfield straight away, but the infield moved around as they always are. White Sox games were 4-2, 6-5, and 4-0. The scores in those 3 ball games in that first series. Chris Davis will take that off-speed breaking ball again that twice has missed by a mile.
Yeah, because of the line drives off of Miley, Noah came in and pitched great. Yeah, he 8 right-handed hitters in the lineup against Miley, so it matched up well. Noah, a right-hander.
Pelfrey's delivery.
And then if you watched him pitch in that game, and then you figure, okay, well, he did have a hamstring problem, so he went on the DL, but he's got to be pitching well at Norfolk. He's got a 6.97 ERA.
Hard to believe.
Yeah, it really is hard to believe.
3-1 delivery on the way. Chris swinging through that one as Pelfrey kept it down low, and it'll go full.
Yeah, take a look at the swing, and he seems to be right on it. Much more balanced swing. He's kind of still drops his hands. I talked to a scout. They said, well, he's a hand dropper. Watch his hands drop. They go from high to low.
3-2 will be fouled away.
But he's spread out a little bit. Maybe closed a little bit more. So almost kind of square to the pitcher. Maybe not quite, but much more so than he was in the first month of the season.
Dropping that hand gives him that uplift that he likes
but yeah, it is maybe sometimes a little bit too much. That might be the case, but
3-2 delivery for a second time on him. That's going to go into the shift. Sanchez way out there and right. Davis is retired. 1 down here in the second inning, and that will bring up Jonathan Scope, one of the offensive leaders so far for the Orioles.
Yeah, he's been red hot. I mean, very consistent. You can see the 30 extra base hits this year. And again, the ability to hit the ball out of the ballpark. So a nice productive year. Looks like with the season closing in on being a third over, it looks like the numbers are going to be better. Good. 25 home runs last year, so on a pace to hit 30-ish.
He will take the pitch for a strike. Jonathan in the extra base hit department is tied for 4th in the American League. Corey Dickerson, having the great year at Tampa Bay, leads the league, starting the day with 36. Then it's Judge, Trout, and then Healy, Lindor, Lowry, and Scope all tied at 30. And the breaking ball will be outside to Jonathan. He has faced Pelfrey 9 times, has picked up 3 hits against this towering right-hander who went 4 and 10 last year. 1-1 delivery to him. Scope got jammed. Fists it away.
Yeah, that's the 93 that I saw against Tampa. And again, he pitched well down there. They did not play well. Garcia and Wright made an error. Misplayed a ball, but this is that running fastball. So you think it's going to stay on the plate, and then because you're 6'7" and you got the good, really right-handed run, it doesn't end up where you think it's going to be.
Jonathan with a 1-ball 2-strike count on him. D shaded to left in the outfield. And the pitch taken up high. Orioles, who rely on the home runs, of course, for about 50% of their runs, are against a pitcher who in his career has given up few. .76 per 9 innings off Pelfrey in the home run department. 6th lowest. And there's that off-speed pitch again. He's dropped that thing in 69, 70 miles an hour.
Well, that's probably the best one he threw right there. I mean, just missed away. Rick Renteria on the White Sox manager, bench coach last year.
Fouled it off at his feet that time. Yeah, the White Sox are on the verge. Renteria talked about it over the weekend. What are they going to do? Is the ball club close enough? They're 7 games out in a division that seemingly could be wide open. But are they going to try for it this year? Or are they going to make some big moves and rebuild this ball club? That is an issue for them as they head towards the All-Star game. And that pitch is going to miss, and a walk. That's the second surrendered. It'll come with one away here. Father's Day weekend at Oriole Park. The O's are going to take on the Cardinals. Friday is fireworks night presented by Maryland Excels. Father's Day, all fans 15 and over get the grayscale cap, followed by the kids running the bases, brought to you by Wise Markets. That's for the kids ages 4 to 14. Get your tickets at Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. So with one down, Orioles get a base runner on via the walk. And here is Mancini. 2 walks.
And it really kind of sets up the inning against Belfry because he's been pitching well by taking that borderline pitch. I mean, you got to understand that Jonathan only walked 21 times all last year in over 600 at bats. That's his 14th walk of the year. So that's, again, I mean, it doesn't seem like it may be much. Hey, if it's a ball, you take it. Well, it's not always the way he operates. So that's a good thing. And it gets Mancini, who can get the ball out anywhere. Gives him a chance to drive it somewhere.
Ray Mancini will take the pitch. It is going to be in there for a strike. Mancini had a big series against the White Sox, going 5 for 7. It's an opportunity for the first time here on the south side of Chicago. Scope getting off at first base. And a quick dive back, trying to catch him flat-footed. Abreu over there taking the throw.
Well, you made a point earlier. I think when they're 10 for 10, he thinks everybody's going to run. And it is a possibility. I don't think right here, but you never know.
Nope. Orioles have had their problems, of course, scoring runs. If you want to create some offense, that is one of the ways you can go about it. Orioles came out of that Yankee series scoring 9 runs in the 3 games. Unfortunately, they also gave up 44. 0-2 count, 1 away. Scope at least challenging him over there as he moves.
Well, he's got a pretty good lead. You can tell right there. I mean, it's more than 2.5 steps.
Way outside. Good stop made. Smith has only thrown out 1 of 16 behind the plate. And
well,
Pelfrey, as Jim said, 10 for 10 success rate. So
I mean, I watched him throw. You know, he'd throw down after the 9 warm-up pitches. He gunned it into center field. So, and again, young catcher learning to catch at this level.
1 ball, 2 strike count. Runner not going. Mancini put that one back into the seats and will hold the count at a ball and 2 strikes. Mancini having to make adjustments now as the book out on him with the scouts sending in their reports. Hitting .258 here in the month of June. He's had a couple of home runs. Nothing wrong with that. Trey seeing a wider assortment of pitches in and out against him, trying to stay away from that barrel of the bat.
Yeah, they try to speed him up early and then go soft, and it's certainly been doing that for 100 years.
Yep. 1-2 count. Scope, a little bigger lead. Not running. Trey, a shattered bat to first. It'll be fouled. Barrel went further than the ball. Barrel ended up at second base.
But if you're a young hitter, you can't be afraid to do exactly what happened, and that is to get jammed, because he waits very well for a youngster in his first full year in the big leagues. That allows him to let the ball travel its way and drive it to right field. So again, he's got a running fastball, and this one gets right in on the fist, and you could see probably right up by the trademark.
Pelfrey got trapped. The ball going to the first base side and the barrel going to the shortstop side, and Adam will pick up the baseball. Cal remains at 1-2 on Trey Mancini. Trey's crossed over the 150 mark in at-bats. Most of the regulars every day are over 200. Trey's right up there. Came back inside and could not get the call. That'll even up the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Checking down at third base with Bobby Dickerson, wanting to know whether Scope is going to run. Orioles want that discussion to be in the head of Pelfrey, whether they're going to run or not. 2-2. Jonathan stays at first, and at a grounder, only one play is going to be at first. Ooh, that's fair. It took a hop. That ball was foul. He put the glove down to catch it, and before it came to his glove, it came back into fair territory and an infield hit.
Yeah, I'm not sure he could have thrown him out anyway, but obviously he didn't think this ball was coming back. Take a look right here, and right there it just kicks to the right. And Todd Frazier, I mean, see, that ball's got spin on it. He's going to let it go foul because he doesn't have a play, and then all of a sudden, whatever that side spin causes it to make a right turn.
So the Orioles, Trey Mancini gets a break on that one and gets the hit, and the Orioles get runners on at first and second base, and that will bring up Wellington Castillo. Well, the Orioles' chance to get on the board against Pelfrey here in the second inning. One of the things Adam Jones said about being in this losing streak, let's go 1 inning at a time. Let's get a lead. Let's win an inning.
Well, sometimes, and I think, Buddy, also, let's not lose it.
Yeah.
You know, the Orioles were losing the innings big time in New York, and then all of a sudden everything changes. You know, it's not only a physical game, it's a very emotional game. And, you know, again, big innings, they really do you in as a team.
Wellington will take the pitch. It is going to be their first strike.
Yeah, Paul Emmel's got a nice little strike zone. The ball may be a little bit off the corner, but Pelfrey gets the. Well, you got the right guy at the plate, 10 for 20.
He's at 500. Runners in scoring position for Wellington Castillo. His first outing against the White Sox, did not play in Baltimore. Chops that one down to third. Frazier's got it. There's one, and there's that double play of Pelfrey again. Seemingly, whenever Pelfrey needs to get a ground ball double play in his career, he's been able to do it. He does it again there. Cars, you're talking Coons.
Well, there you are. Teams that somewhat I would call those dominating numbers. Yankees, the poor Twins. Of course, they've surprised everybody, playing really well. And then the Orioles down 25-12.
Series wins for the Orioles against the White Sox have been plentiful. If you take a look back for the Orioles, they are 6-0-2 the last 8 years, going back to 2009 in their series, with that 38-23 mark during that stretch. The Orioles look to add another series win here in this 4-game set in Chicago. Frazier will lead it off, 5 for 15, a home run lifetime against Wade Miley. Chicago's done well against the left-handers on the season. They've gone 11-7 in games by left-handed starters, so 4 above 500 against the lefties. Overall, they are 9 below 500 with a 26-35 mark, 7 games behind the division leaders.
Yeah, good idea if you can, because Todd Frazier's been red hot. You know, 5 home runs in his last 13 games, over 333, a lot of RBIs. Open stance, loves the ball from about maybe the middle end. 40 home runs last year.
Frazier and Avisail Garcia are the two you're going to look at if you're checking the lineup of the White Sox coming into this series as far as who you don't want to beat you. They have had the big bats going.
And then I'd probably throw Abreu on that list. So somehow you need to get the guys out in front of them and behind them if you can.
2 for 8 in the series in Baltimore for Frazier. Pitch on the way, and he takes it to center. Adam Jones will move over. 1 away. Here are the numbers. These 2 ball clubs in the 3 games that were played, with the Orioles winning them all.
Again, they 6-5, 4-2, 4-0, as you mentioned, Gary. But look at that, the runner in scoring position numbers. When you're 1 for 18, that's why your runs per game are down. And again, the White Sox, they've gone 6-13. Their starter ERA also over 6 runs a game, and that very much like what the Orioles have done in their 9-20 last 29 games.
And the pitch will be taken as Davidson stands in.
Big and strong.
Matt had just 3 at bats in Baltimore. 0 for 3 is the DH. He will take the pitch on the outside corner for a strike. White Sox coming off a 2-7 road trip. Obviously not a good one. They have lost 9 of their last 11 ball games. 1-1 delivery. Fastball by Wade Miley is going to miss outside. Wade looking for victory number 3. The ball club has gone 7-5 in the 12 starts he's made this year. Davidson will take the pitch inside, and a 2-ball 2-strike count. So already the Orioles are ahead of any of the games they played in New York. There's no score. Nowhere near the offense of the Yankees is the White Sox. Pitch taken down low, and Miley again teasing on the pitch. Roger McDowell wishing and hoping and praying that.
Well, they had a little meeting. Yeah, they want to discover low and away again, and that was one of the emphasis in the meeting.
Down to third, Manny Machado from foul territory on the money. Davidson retired, and there are 2 away. Join the Oriole Advocates celebrating 25 years at Oriole Park. They'll have that luncheon coming up on Friday, August 18, from noon to 2 p.m. in the warehouse. Celebrate the ballpark that forever changed baseball and honor the returning members of the '92 team. Tickets $100. For details and tickets, 410-247-2703. 25th anniversary of the great Camden Yards. Here is Garcia, who will take it for a strike. Willie Garcia getting the start in center field. Home run, 6 RBIs for him on the year. Pitch will be taken down low. Willie Garcia looking to get the numbers up in the 2/3 of the season left to be played. He's picked it up a little bit, hitting at 11 of the last 13 at a .268 clip.
No, they picked him up on waivers from the Pirates. And again, 17 assists at AAA last year. He's much bigger in person than he's listed at.
Good pitch.
Really good changeup.
Turned that pitch over, down and away from the right-hander.
Well, Wade Miley has discovered there are outs down and away, both with the sinker, both with the changeup, and he's got a curveball he can throw.
2-2 away.
But that's one of those really non-competitive pitches. And the reason I say that, it's just a ball out of your hand. So you go from 2-2 to 3-2, and that's how you get some of your walks.
Garcia, full count, 2 down, and he walked.
There's the changeup again.
First walk surrendered by Miley, second base runner for the White Sox. And that will bring Smith. Kevin Smith will come to the plate. He has been struggling, only 3 hits in his last 23 at bats. Only a couple of RBIs over the last 8 ball games for him. Kevin Smith with a runner on at first base and 2 down. Smith doing the catching. Sanchez, second baseman, waiting on deck. Wade Miley a look over. Garcia very short lead, gets the throw anyway. Kevin Smith is about to turn 29 years old. He had played in the minor leagues from 2011 through last year. Finally made it to the White Sox, 7 games. Getting some work in behind the plate. And a towering fly ball center field. He got all of that one. And goodbye home run. And that's the door that's opened when you surrender the walk. And the White Sox have a 2-0 lead.
Yeah, you're really right about that in the sense that, okay, you walk a guy. Now I want to be aggressive. Young hitter. That's the first home run of his career. Very timely. It gives him a 2-0 lead. So you come back and because you're a little miffed that you walked the guy. You went from 2-2 to a walk, and then you get ambushed right here. You see where the target is, and it's just a fastball 91. Gets the foot down, and then I mean, this is a launch guy.
74th at bat proves to be the winner. His first major league home run, his 7th major league RBI this year. Sanchez, and he hit him. Unbelievable. Throw to first, and they get the out. The last game, 2 line drives in a row against Wade Miley, and Sanchez comes up here in the 2nd inning and drills him on the back of the leg. The White Sox get the home run from Smith. That brought 2 in, a 2-0 Chicago lead.
In the first inning, back-to-back hitters, has to leave. One off the wrist, one off the thigh, and then right here another one off the left, and that's the push-up leg, and this time he able to catch it.
They hit the same spot.
Well, yeah, there's a bullseye out there that we don't know about.
Oh, Miley will get checked between innings. J.J. Hardy will lead it off for the Orioles against Pelfrey. 2 for 8 lifetime off Mike Pelfrey for J.J. Goes after that one, add another. Base hit into center field. Garcia up with it, and the Orioles have the leadoff man on for the 2nd time in 3 innings.
Yeah, that was almost like J.J. Hardy played Pepper. I mean, it was just a nice little soft swing. Tried to barrel the bat up. Don't have to hit it that hard. Finds a hole in the defense.
That's what J.J.'s been doing lately.
Yeah.
Just a nice, easy swing. Take the base hits, and there have been a number of doubles included.
Well, it does open up holes, and you know he's not going to steal any bases, but they'll put the shift on against Seth Smith. But what it will do is allow, because Abreu is holding him, maybe you got a little bit more of an alley into right field. He pulls the ball.
Smith drew a walk his first time up. Pelfrey has responded in each of the first 2 innings when a runner gets on by picking up the ground ball double play we talked about earlier. See if he can do it again here. Shift on against Smith forces Sanchez with a runner on, forces him to stay much closer rather than moving way out into right field. 1-0 delivery on the way. Seth will take it under the arms and inside and gets ahead on the count 2-0. Getting the start in right field. He's become pretty much a regular against the right-handers. He's not had a lot of luck in this ballpark, hitting only .211 here on the south side in his career.
Well,
But
yeah, it kind of
it
kind of sets up the inning because of those numbers. Because Jonesy came in at over 400, even though he grounded into double play.
2-0 count. Look to hit one here and not close, and that will bring Smith out to the mound.
Yeah, a lot of times you can play head games, and you know you didn't want to have Hardy get on. I mean, if you look at JJ, it was what, 2 for 8. But a lot of guys with glowing number. Chris Davis is 3 for 9, 3 doubles. Trumbo, he hits him well. 5 for 12 coming in, now 5 for 13, so over 400.
So Seth, who has done so much of this, joining the Orioles this year, of taking some lengthy at bats, a lot of pitches, which is why the Orioles liked him. And he's going to get another one right here. So Pelfrey surrenders the walk, and the Orioles will get the first 2 on. That is the 3rd walk given up by Pelfrey in the ball game. 2 of those have gone to Smith.
Now you go all the way back to April, well, his 2nd start with the White Sox, when he walked more than 3, and that was back on the 28th of April. So again, it's not the walks, it's what happens afterwards, and we already saw that with a home run by Smith after the 2-out walk to Willie Smith.
Here is Adam Jones hit into a double play his first time up. 2 on, Orioles did this in the first inning. They had the double play ground ball. Adam gets another chance. Runners off first and second base. Pelfrey, the delivery to Adam. That'll be there for a strike. The Orioles have grounded into only 45 double plays coming into the ball game, the fourth fewest in the American League.
And what was amazing is Todd Frazier, he'll move back a step, but he was actually in on the grass expecting a bunt.
I don't think a scouting report would show that.
No, and now he's still one step in front of the bag at third base.
Yep. Adam will take the pitch inside. I cannot remember a time ever when Adam Jones bunted to move runners up.
No, not when you're down by 2-0 in the third inning.
And when you get the #1 batting average with runners in scoring position in the American League at .389. Hardy at second base and Smith on at first. Outfield shaded to left. Been some unusual defensive alignments in this game of the White Sox against some Oriole hitters. Adam will foul that one away.
Well, again, I think it's probably Don Cooper, the pitching coach for his 15th consecutive year here, and they're saying, okay, we're going to pound him in. And when we do that, that maybe means with that running fastball that Pelfrey throws, he'll probably pull it, and then we'll try to strike him out, something the Orioles do regularly with the slider away.
That certainly would be the indication of the defense as to how he's going to pitch. They give Adam that whole right center field power alley. 1 ball, 2 strike count to Jones. Pelfrey's delivery to him. Adam goes after it. Pelfrey has done a great job with the runners in scoring position. Some of the numbers Jimmy was talking about, misleading record because only .205 against him in these situations. Certainly those ground ball double plays got to help.
I mean, on the road, of course, this is a 14 in 2014 when we talk about the White Sox. He's 1-3 with a .450 at home, 1-2 with a .284. So very comfortable pitching here at guaranteed rate field. Or
Excuse me?
Is it a field or is it a stadium?
It's a field. Guaranteed rate field.
Okay.
The 1 ball, 2 strike count coming up. Just missed. Pelfrey trying to in out on Adam.
Well, he's gotten a little bit of a wider outside corner from Paul Emmel, so he tried it right there.
Paul has generally been an umpire over the years who would favor the hitter.
The other thing is that right hand goes up so quickly you don't even know it's a strike.
Doesn't go up very far.
No,
you don't want to. You don't want to miss it.
No rotator cuff tears there.
No, Paul's got that quick strike. 2-2 count. Runners off first and second base. Delivery by Pelfrey. Jones to third. Are they going to do it again? Goes to first and gets the out. Unbelievable. Another double play ground ball.
Well, can you get the grounder at the appropriate time? And for Pelfrey, I mean, you think he's in trouble, and then voila, this was a split changeup. So you're over it. He's thinking I'm going to get the force. Nope. Come across the diamond, and with his arm strength, still makes it very easily.
Wow. So a double play in each of the first 3 innings. And now the Orioles do have a runner in scoring position as Seth Smith goes down to second base. There he be. But there are 2 down now.
Yeah, I once did a playoff game in, I think, 1995. It was the Braves against Cincinnati, and Tom Glavine pitched. He threw 5 double play balls. Every time they thought they had him in trouble, he'd throw a grounder at the right guy and at the right time.
It'll get you out of innings. Manny hitting with a runner in scoring position and 2 down. Had a single his first time up. Infield hit. Manny will take the slider, it looked like, way outside, and Smith may have been crossed up on that. Sanchez, the second baseman, is going to come in too. Make sure he knows what are we using here regarding the signs. Well, the great pictures of all time by our crew in New York. I will never forget it. After Judge had one of those home runs, a Yankee teammate picked up D.D. Gregorius in his arms so he could high-five Judge. Or Didi picked him up. It was Torres.
Yeah, Torres.
Yeah, picked up Torres.
Like 5'7".
Oh, that was great. It was great. Even after you picked him up, he was still shy of reaching Judge. That was a great pick. Because you do those kind of things when you're winning.
Yes.
14-3. Orioles trailing here by a score 2-0. Chance for the RBI though with Manny Machado. Manny 231 in these situations.
Yeah, and then Pelfrey at 205. Both guys with glowing numbers, or at least for Pelfrey.
Pelfrey will look back to second. 2-0 delivery on the way, and he's throwing a lot of pitches. Getting behind on hitters. Count goes to 3-0. Pelfrey with 3 walks. The double plays have protected him so far. Smith did draw the walk, and he's out there at second base. Machado 3-0. See if he green lights him. Runner goes. Pitch outside. No chance. Good jump. So Seth Smith will get the stolen base, and the walk was surrendered to Manny Machado. So first and third with 2 down. Base stealers are now 11 for 11 against Pelfrey and stolen bases. Pelfrey living dangerously. 4 walks, 2 in the inning. Still, the Orioles have not been able to get a run up on the board. So Mark Trumbo will give it a whirl. Mark closing in on the 300 mark with runners in scoring position, hitting .295. Strikeout victim for the Oriole DH. His first time to the plate. Again, the alignment spread out all over the place in the infield and outfield. I'm really amazed that Willie Garcia in center, who is relatively shallow and way over towards that left field power alley.
Yeah, I just think they're just figuring that most of the balls, are going to be to the pull side. They don't. I mean, a lot of teams will come completely over on a shift too, but Sanchez stays on the second base side. You don't see that very often either.
Trumbo will take the inside corner pitch for a strike. Unsure. 1-1 with 2 down. White Sox, like the Orioles, Jim mentioned, have struggled on the road. 14-24 for the White Sox. Orioles 10-20. White Sox are a game above 500 at home. 12-11. 1 ball, 1 strike. First and third for the O's. Trumbo down to third. Just missed. 1-2 on Mark.
Yeah, again, such a good start. I mean, this is a team that's in a rebuilding phase. So you can see batting average is 5th, runs per game 10th, home runs 13th. Even those numbers are heating up. And then the pitching, as of late, hasn't been good. But 13-10 in the month of April.
In a division where nobody's jumped out. Minnesota's been the surprise leader. Game and a half over Cleveland. So only 7 games separate the teams in the Central. Only 7.5 separate the teams in the East now. Yankees up by 4 over Boston, 6 over Tampa Bay, 6.5 over the Orioles, and 7.5 over Toronto. Manny Machado back. Brian Honora will clean the bag off over there.
Yeah, it's not always. Everybody thinks just because you're 6'7" gives you more leverage, maybe ability, whatever, but it makes it harder to hold runners, and the numbers certainly tell you that. And then you have to focus more on things you'd rather not focus on. Because everybody with a little bit of speed, Manny's running didn't steal a base last year. So
Trumbo waiting, set up very high. Smith was almost standing up behind the plate that time. Where he put the glove. He wanted that one up, and it was. Trumbo did not chase it. 2-2. That's a late scouting report, because we saw Mark go after a couple of those in New York that were balls up and out of the strike zone.
Yeah, but they were throwing a lot harder than 91.
Yeah. 2 ball, 2 strike count. First and third. Runner goes. Pitch outside. No throw. Stolen base picked up by Manny Machado.
Yeah, so now you got to do. I mean, you talked about it early. He's been pitching well. His Achilles heel is can't hold runners. So what do? You steal.
4-5 for Manny. Orioles have 2 in the ball game. Now a base hit tied this game up. And another full count. Belfry to Trumbo on a 3-2. And they're loaded. 5 walks surrendered by Pelfrey. That'll bring a visit to the mound by Mr. Cooper. 3 walks here in this inning.
Well, you know, I was listening to on Saturday night. The White Sox were in Cleveland, and Don Cooper came on. And again, he's been here 15 years, and they were asking him, "Hey, well, you know, now that you've been around, what do you think about all these new numbers?" He goes, "I'm not smart enough to understand all those numbers, but I can tell you, number one, can you throw strike one? Can you pitch to both sides of the plate? Can you get the first batter out?" And alluding to what's going on here, when you get a lead, can you have a shutdown inning?
Hasn't changed much.
No, it really hasn't.
No.
So he said, listen, he said, I have yet to walk, and I don't think he walked out there right now to Mike Pelfrey. He said, well, you know, you need to work on your spin rate. So I'm sure it is. Hey, go to your strength. You're a sinker ball guy. Trust your stuff. Get ahead. See if he throws strike one here. And you know, we saw Smith do it off of Miley. He looked for after he walked a guy and hit a home run.
Chris Davis. Ooh, there's that off-speed breaking ball again that misses. Bases are loaded. 2 away. Smith, Machado, and Trumbo on for the Orioles. The walks all the way around. All 3 of the current base runners got there via the free pass. And Chris gets a big chance here with the sacks full. Only his 3rd chance this year with the bases loaded. He's 0 for 2 in these situations on the season. Pelfrey, 5 walks, 1 shy of his career high. Davis trying to lift one, fouls it straight back.
Well, that's one of the better swings you're going to see Chris Davis have. And when you're hot, and that's something that he isn't this month, what now 8 for 37, would hit that ball hard somewhere and just fouled it off.
Chris has had a couple of home runs this month with that average Jim was talking about.
Well, 3 home runs in June so far.
Just 222 though, the average.
Yeah, but just look at how the feet are a little spread out. You know, it used to be more open. That front foot would be more towards first base, so he's closed his stance a little bit.
Infield shift, full effect. Pitch is going to be taken up high. The Pelfrey nibbling around the edges here on a lot of these hitters and falling behind on them. There's the defense. Count goes to 2-1 on Davis. White Sox have the 2-0 lead on the homer by Smith, but Orioles have had far better chances. Now need to convert. Pelfrey's 2-1 delivery. Chris on a Taylor away.
Yeah, nice change. Nice change up. He uses a split fingered pitch. And again, this is what he got the double play to Adam Jones early on, and that ball just kind of filtered its way right to the corner. But a much better balanced swing for Chris Davis. Just didn't make contact.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 3 on.
It certainly sets up the Pelfrey's assortment because that's not the pitch you were looking for there.
Nope.
And if you throw it 2-1 when you're behind, you'll throw it in any count.
Runners off every base and the 2-2. That is a long hold. Just missed.
Yeah, that little 2-seamer, it ran back, but it stayed high. And that's a couple of high fastballs that he thought might be close enough. And you can see well above the belt.
So 3-2, 2 down. The runners can go at first and second base. Trumbo at first, Manny Machado at second, Smith with his lead at third. Key moment in this ball game early on here in the 3rd inning. Pelfrey really held on to that thing before the last pitch to freeze Davis. 3-2 delivery on the way. Chris in the air. That's going to go to right center field. Back in the power alley. Warning track and hauled in by Garcia. The Orioles, no runs, 1 hit, no errors. They will leave the bases loaded. White Sox lead it 2-0. Taking a look at both the offense and pitching and what the Orioles, some numbers that the Orioles got to get better at. Number 1 on top offense. The strikeout per games are way up. They are 25th out of 30 teams in the most strikeouts at 8.97 a game, and their walks are down. They have the 3rd fewest walks at 2.62. Put that together, you don't get a lot of chances. The whip, the walks, hits per innings pitched, the Orioles are last in the sense that's the highest whip going in Major League Baseball overall. At home they're a little better, 23rd in the majors, but on the road where they have struggled, that whip, that is the highest walks, hits per innings pitched in the major leagues. So it looks like Buck Showalter is making a change here, and Chris Davis, who had that last at bat, is coming out of the ball game. Trey Mancini is going to move from left to first, and Kim is going to come off the bench and move into left field. So we'll see if we get a word on Chris. It didn't look too bad on the swing that he had.
Yeah, I don't think he hurt himself.
I don't think he's feeling well.
Yeah, I think, yeah, he maybe not as chipper himself. I mean, he goes down and gets and puts a good swing on it. I didn't see anything. It didn't look like he came up favoring a leg or a groin or a hamstring.
So Mancini at first and Kim. The Orioles lose the big bat of Chris Davis.
Yeah, but if I'm Mike Pelfrey, I used to always worry when that happened. There's a reason for it. Kim, something Kim will do.
It's always those players who aren't supposed to be in the game,
and then they end up coming in.
Yep.
The Duke Sims of the world.
Yes. Wade Miley back to work. Anderson showing bunt, takes a strike on the outside corner. Good to see Wade back out on the mound. He left after getting the final out in the last inning on a comebacker that caught him right in the back of the leg. A line drive, and there's a line drive, base hit. Kim will play it back in. Anderson on, leadoff man on here in the 3rd inning. Let's take a look at our PNC minor league report. PNC for the achiever in you.
So take a look at, I mean, the draft is tonight. The Orioles are drafting 20th. In fact, 4 picks in the first 100. So Montcastle, he makes the all-star team. I guess where you can see 16th round, 3rd round, and then there we go, another 16th rounder out of Washington State University. So
big night for a lot of kids.
Yeah, four in the top 100.
Pitch will be taken with a runner on at first base.
Well, if you're Rick Renneria and you manage the team, a lot of options because Cabrera can handle the bat, and Anderson, he's 5 out of 5. Not that you're going to run on him, but he certainly can start the runner if Miley gets behind him.
And the pitch taken down low, and he will fall behind here. 2 balls and no strikes.
I was talking to Scotty McGregor, and he kind of straightened him out last year, late September, when after Wade had come over from Seattle. And I was talking to him today, and I said, it just seems like he gets in a hurry. He said he calls it the topple effect. Instead of loading, he kind of just gets going forward, and he kind of, imagine you're up on the mound, they give you 10 inches, and you topple instead of driving. And Scotty's point was if he can use his lower half and drive, then all of a sudden it kind of syncs up the windup. But when you're anxious, sometimes you get a little bit too quick and your command goes.
Melky Cabrera, 3-0 count. Runner off first, takes first strike. Melky, veteran, very good career, Major League Baseball career already. 286 lifetime hitter for him. He is now 32 years old. Played against the Orioles while he was in New York and also in Kansas City. 3-1 count, and walked him. Second walk surrendered, and that'll put the first 2 on for the White Sox. But we got a lot of runners getting on base in this game on both sides, and he didn't like it.
Yeah, what Miley's saying, well, he called it all night, and yeah, it's just a shade underneath the knees. You can see Emil takes his mask off. He's not happy. It's a little bit low. That's what Major League Baseball, I'm not sure now with the ball juiced or whatever is going on with the ball that they need to do it anymore, but they want them to bring the strike zone up. But Wade Miley not on board with that.
So here's Abreu. The White Sox get another opportunity here in the third inning. 2 on, nobody out. Abreu lined out hard to J.J. Hardy, the shortstop, his first time up. White Sox will look to add to their totals with Abreu. That 400 average against left-handers coming into the ball game. Pitch to him. Abreu will take it. It is in there for a strike.
Well, 25 home runs or more, 100 RBIs or 175 hits his first 3 years after coming over from Cuba.
He has been a good one, a consistent player.
And even, here 309 with runners in scoring position.
Ground ball to first base, and Mancini can't play it. Anderson is going to come around to score. Headed to third, Melky Cabrera. Mancini may have had a problem with the runner on that. Ball, runner, and Mancini all got to be in a very small space. And I don't think he got a good look at it, and it's 3-0.
And the ball's hit sharply. So that kind of compounds it. Right here's your angle. I mean, hit right there. And again, playing more outfield than first base ever since spring training. And because of whatever's going on with Chris Davis, yeah, you're right about that. No way that he could pick that ball up.
So Abreu is going to get a base hit and an RBI. It'll put runners on at first and third. Still nobody out in the inning. Abreu gets his 35th RBI of the season. Second on the team to this guy. Garcia leads them in RBIs. And he puts one in the air to center field. Adam Jones getting on his horse is going to look. Hits a quarter of the way up the wall. Cabrera's going to score. Abreu's going to come, and the ball gets away. And again, what Adam Jones is talking about, sloppy play. If that ball hits the cutoff man, they got an out at the plate.
Yeah, but everything changes when you're struggling, even for the veterans. I'm not making excuses. But again, this ball at BB, he knows he can't get it. So what's he going to do? Play it off the wall. He does that. Hit the cutoff man, but he just heaves it. Overhead Scopes head. Hardy doesn't get a good read on it, or certainly had enough time to come over and cut it off. And Abreu had stopped. They had stopped him. Nick Capper, the third base coach, said, nobody out. I'm not getting a guy without a lot of speed thrown out at home plate. So here we go again. Maybe it's not the first inning, but you're exactly where you were up in Yankee Stadium on Saturday and Sunday, down by 5.
Though Miley in trouble here, there's still nobody out. Single walk, single, and we'll see if they give Garcia a single or a double. Probably a double on that. I think he would have gotten to second base anyway. So he's only going to get 1 RBI, and there'll be a throwing error charged, allowing the second run to score. Valdo Jimenez warming up in the bullpen for the Orioles. Wade Miley in trouble. 5 runs on 5 hits. Frazier, their hottest hitter, flied out to center. Runner at second base. Nobody out. And a 2-strike delivery on the way. That'll bounce at his feet. Good stop made by Castillo to hold it.
Yeah, he was hitting about 185 when I can remember he had 40 home runs last year when the White Sox came to Baltimore in early May. And we were down at the cage today, and I said, so you've turned it around. I mean, 5 home runs in 13 games and 12 RBIs. He said every day, and he pointed to Don Cooper, the pitching coach.
Frazier late on it. Mancini. And just enough room, makes the catch. Runner tags, throw over. Will hold him at second base.
Yeah, very nice play. Good awareness. And again, you did all your fly balls on a windy day here in Chicago in right field. The next thing you know, you're playing first. That's the look right there. He knows, or at least has a feel, and the wind blows it back, and then the awareness. He thought that ball was going foul. The wind brought it back in. But going back to what Frazier said, he said probably about 2 weeks ago, Don Cooper, pitching coach, said, hey, come down and track pitches. Make our pitchers better. We could talk hitting. We could talk pitching. And he's done that. And he's gotten red hot.
Still a runner at second base, only 1 away. Strike called at the letters. Matt Davidson at the plate. Davidson grounded out his first time up. So Abreu's an RBI base hit. Garcia Viciel Garcia with the RBI double, and then the third run of the inning scoring on the throwing error. Really went upstairs on that one. Miley gets him to go after it at 93. There is your base runner. And Wade Miley trying to find a way out of the inning. Davidson 0-2 count, hitting .289 with runners in scoring position. Will take the pitch, a breaking ball, and come inside by his feet.
And if Wade Miley can ever figure out to get ahead instead of behind in these counts, all of a sudden he can add and subtract. I mean, he can go to 93, 94. But again, it's hard to do that when you're constantly into hitters counts.
1-2. Infield back deep here. Breaking ball. This season, White Sox going second time through the order. Wade had actually cut down the average. First time through it was 322. Second time 247. But it is the second time through here in the third inning that's creating all kinds of problems for Wade Miley. 2-2 delivery on the way. Slashed foul the other way. So scoring chances for both ball clubs, but it's the White Sox who've taken advantage. A lot of people on base. Orioles 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. The White Sox are 2 for 3. That ball's going to go into left field. It's a base hit. Garcia the turn. Kim up. No play at the plate. RBI single for Davidson. And another added here in the third inning. 6-0.
Now you got into a series of guys that again, as Buck Showalter is going to come out, that can really hit with runners in scoring position. You know, whether it's Abreu, whether it's Garcia, or even Davidson at 289, he adds to those numbers. And again, you're down by 6-0, having to go to the bullpen.
So yet another short start for the Orioles, and once again the bullpen is going to be tested as he'll come out of there responsible for the base runner on.
Happens in the second successive start. 2 2/3 innings last time against the Pirates. 2 1/3. You can see not enough strikes, and then got roughed up here in the third as our Jiffy Lube pitching change. This pitching change is brought to you by Jiffy Lube. Jiffy Lube stores now do brake services. Stop in and let Jiffy Lube perform a free brake inspection today. So actually pitched pretty well against the Yankees, but again, it was kind of in a lost cause on Saturday. And again, certainly a veteran. 109 wins, 108 losses over his career.
Ubaldo will face the White Sox for the first time this year. Not good on first batters. Here is Garcia, drew a walk and scored. Runner at first base. Goes after the first pitch, pops it up, and no play. It'll be back into the seats. Willie Garcia. This will be the 7th White Sox to bat here in the third inning. They have scored the 4 runs on 3 singles, a double, and a walk. Davidson with the RBI base hit is over at first. And an 0-1 count on Garcia. Couldn't wait long enough on that one and fouls it away. Pitch in at 83.
Well, the one thing about the White Sox, we talked, they are a winning team here. I mean, only 12 and 11, but they almost outscore the amount of runs they give up by a run.
Yeah.
And that number went up dramatically, at least so far.
Their bullpen has been good.
Oh, they have not squandered a lead after having a lead after 6 innings. So again, you give them a lead, and they certainly have it now as you get into the later parts of the game, 6 inning on, and they've been excellent.
The Orioles bullpen is now ranked 9th in ERA, second most hits per 9 innings surrendered, and obviously the number of innings pitched has continued to climb for the bullpen. And the pitch is on the outside corner for a strike. So Jimenez comes on and gets the strikeout. Miley did not have a strikeout to go with the 2 walks he surrendered.
Well, Castillo moves in and then moves right to the corner. A little breaking ball somewhere. again, it's been a big strike zone tonight. That ball, what, 4 inches off the outside corner.
Here is Kevin Smith doing the catching and the home run work. His career first major league home run came in the 2nd inning. He had 56 home runs during his minor league games, 519 minor league games, and 56 homers. Pitch is in there for a strike. He had 2 years where he had double-digit home runs. He got 12 in Winston-Salem in 13, and he got 10 in Bingham back in 2014. So home run hitting was not his specialty in the minors or here, but he got one tonight. 0-2 delivery, late on it, fouled it back.
Yeah, he almost, I mean, he had back problems last year. He had hip problems, all kinds of, so he missed almost 2 months. And then you're a catcher. It's certainly not an easy position to play. Big guy, 6'4", 230-ish. But plenty of size.
0-2 delivery. That's going to be a base hit into right field. Runner will stay at second base. Seth Smith comes in to get it. So Devin Smith is on, and he is 2 for 2 in the ball game, sending Davidson down to second base.
Yeah, for him in the minors, Gary, it was more about a high average, 282, and you could see it right there. I mean, that's a great approach. You let the ball travel, just hit it. Nobody plays there, right between first and second. How many times did the Yankees do that in the series?
So another chance to score here with 2 away. They batted around. Sanchez grounded out his first time up. Yolmer Sanchez, solid average. He had a 4 for 9 against the Orioles in Baltimore. There are 2 down. Jimenez trying to find a third out here. Off speed pitch, a good one. We talked about the Orioles and the bullpen use for these short starts. Since June 8, when the Nationals makeup game was played, the bullpen has worked 17 in the 3rd innings, 3rd most in the American League. The major leagues fouled off, 3rd most in all of baseball. So it really has become extraordinarily tough now for Roger McDowell, the pitching coach, and Buck Showalter on a nightly basis to try and figure out what to do with call-ups occurring virtually every day. Bring somebody else up, bring a fresh arm up, which I don't think you can do that for 162 games. Swung on and missed. He will get him. But they bat around. They score 4 here in the 3rd inning. And the White Sox chase Miley and lead 6-0. Ferguson, what a year he's having for Tampa Bay. He's had 42 strike hits. Ties him with Xander Bogaerts of the Red Sox for the most in the majors this year. Josh Donaldson off the DL and tearing away. At least 3 hits, 3 RBIs. He's done that in a game 12 times since he joined the Blue Jays in 2015. That is the 3rd most for any player over that span. And Aaron Judge is continuing to add all those numbers to the record books. His 21 home runs. He's the first rookie in Major League history to be the first player to hit 20 home runs in a season. Lord Almighty.
Yep. Yeah, he just has to learn to hit the ball a little harder, and I think everything will fall into place.
Or everything will fall.
495 feet. What, a single at 121 miles per hour?
Yeah, on a good pitch away. A swing and a miss on a changeup by Pelfrey. Now the Orioles again faced with an uphill battle. 6 runs, 7 hits. For the White Sox, the Orioles no runs, 3 hits, had chances, 3 double play balls thrown by Pelfrey. Kept the Orioles off the board. Pitches in there, and Pelfrey, there's the line so far, numbers.
Yeah, almost 50-50, but again, 3 clutch pitches when he needed it. I mean, even the changeup that Chris Davis hit it up, looked like it was going to be up the gap, was a great 3-2 pitch. Had a chance to walk 4 in 1 inning.
5 walks, 1 strikeout for Pelfrey. Miley charged with all 6 of the runs on 6 hits in 2 2/3 innings. And that one got him. It hit the armor He's happy to have had that elbow guard on as it went plunk.
Well, as long as you don't get hurt, this is what you're looking for, base runners. Again, it just and if you're Don Cooper, you're Rick Renteria, you're looking to, can your starter, after give him a 6-0 lead, can he do what he's supposed to do? And the Orioles say thank you very much.
So the Orioles get the leadoff man on again. They've had the leadoff man on in 3 of the 4 innings. Jonathan Schoop's becoming the Oriole who gets plunked the most. That's the 6th time Jonathan's been hit by a pitch. The 4th time Pelfrey's hit somebody this year. And with all the running the Orioles have already done, Schoop will gain Pelfrey's attention, although here the Orioles are down 6-0. Trey Mancini at the plate, base hit for Mancini. Castillo to follow. Runner not going, and a strike taken at the knees on the corner from Pelfrey. Oh, 1 count. Runner staying. Wow. Whips it. It's in the 2nd inning.
So what the hit probability is 14%. Actually, I think it's a little bit higher. Actually, if you're the third baseman, you think it's going to foul, and then it doesn't.
Yep.
I would imagine that's going to probably be closer to 100.
He thought it was 0.
Yes.
Yes.
Went from 0 to 100.
The 0 chance. That's what he was thinking. While he was watching, he says, all right, do I feel this or not? What's the probability?
Oh, no, it's foul. I'll just let it go foul.
Yeah, because the chance is 0. And then it put the right signal on and came back.
Yeah. I'm not even sure if it actually put the blinker on, to be quite honest.
Just turned without the blinker, which is always dangerous, but worked that time. And a 1-ball 2-strike count on Trey Mancini. Mancini now has had 6 hits and 8 at bats against the White Sox this year. 6 for 8 with a homer and 4 RBIs. Schoop off first base. 1-2 delivery on the way. Trey in the off-speed pitch out in front.
Yeah, so he finally gets one of the big swooping curveballs. Actually, maybe it's a split. Yeah, there's a split changeup. That was a double play ball to Adam Jones, the second of the 2 he hit into. So he turns it over, splits the hand, and makes a great pitch. But why is he so worried about them running? And if you are worried about running and you're a sinker baller, you know, if you throw a first pitch strike, you might actually get a double play ball early in the count.
Done a pretty good job of that so far tonight and in your career. Here is Castillo. Castillo hit into a double play his first time up. Rips that. That's going to be a base hit into left field. Cabrera coming over to get it. Runner's going to go to third. Cabrera's throw to third is skips by. Pelfrey, good job to back it up.
Yeah, that would have been bang bang, and you're down by 6. Aggressive base running. They had about, what, I think Friday night in Cleveland, about 5 guys thrown out, talking about the White Sox. So right here, plays in front of you, Jonathan Schoop. The ball hit sharply. Cabrera actually, I mean, had 14 assists last year, so I mean, he makes a good throw, and otherwise you're out. So a nice break. But as a lot of third base coaches, when they send a guy home from second, you got to catch it, you got to throw it, and then the infielder or the catcher has to catch it. And Frazier couldn't do that.
So first and third, only 1 out. And another chance for the Orioles. J.J. Hardy had a base hit his first time up, 3 for 9. Now off Pelfrey. Pelfrey looking for a little more of that ground ball magic here. We'll see probably some more of that splitter, which has fallen off the table and had the Orioles sitting on top of it. J.J. a lot of games against the White Sox. 7 career home runs against them. .240 average. He's had 4 of the 7 home runs in this ballpark. Pelfrey 1-0. Hardy in the air. Foul.
May come back. Yeah.
Abreu's got it.
Yep.
Runner will tag and stay as it'll be run in. There is a big out. 4th inning of Orioles baseball is brought to you by the all-wheel drive RAV4. Toyota. What drives you? Visit buyatoyota.com for great deals. Summer night here in Chicago. Pacheco will get up in the bullpen for the White Sox as Pelfrey trying to work his way through the 4th inning.
Yeah, Petrichka just came off the DL, had a lat sprain. So he's back and up throwing. That'll get your attention if you're the starting pitcher with a 6-0 lead and you can't get the win unless you pitch 5. That's the old Earl Weaver move.
Yes.
But I think for Rick Renteria, it was kind of a softie. Earl was never accused of that.
Not by you.
This is about trying to win the game.
Pelfrey's only worked 6 innings for a high, and he has thrown a lot of pitches here in this game with a lot of 3-2 counts. The Orioles, though, still trying to get on the board. Here's Seth Smith, 2 walks. 1st and 3rd. There are 2 down. Infield shift on against him. Smith will take it. Will miss for a ball. Seth has picked up a stolen base in the ball game. Manny Machado has a stolen base, but it hasn't helped. The Orioles not been able to pick up a key hit.
Yeah, well, they could take one up the middle. You could take one into right center. 3-run home run wouldn't hurt. Something, anything to get runners on the board.
Orioles 0 for 4 in these situations tonight. 1-0 count. Pelfrey's delivery to him. Just misses with that one. And the count goes to 2-0, up to 78 on that pitch count.
And what we talked about, because you're 9 for 20 coming in with a couple of walks now, he's pitching very carefully. Back-to-back split-fingered fastball changeup.
And Cooper's got to make a decision along with the manager on how far you go. They don't want to see the 6-0 lead disappear. 2-0 delivery on the way, and that's going to miss.
Yep, another changeup. And that's fine as long as you're throwing it over. And he's gotten some big outs on it. But at some point, you got to trust your stuff, especially with a 6-0 lead. And if he walks him, then you got Adam Jones. You probably get one more hitter because he's bouncing the 2 double plays, but that would probably be it.
Yep. Well, he's pitched to Smith as though he knows Smith has a .450 average against him, which I'm sure he has an inkling of. 3-0 delivery is right there. Seth not going after it. Bat on shoulder taking, with the Orioles needing base runners. 3-1. He'll be going after this one. Jonathan Scope hit by a pitch at third, singled by Wellington Castillo at first. And a 3-1 count on Seth Smith. Orioles have already stranded 5, 3 in scoring position tonight. 3-1 delivery on the way. Pelfrey got it in. That ball's driven in the air to center field. Garcia going back looking. Going to hit the base of the wall and jump up into the stands. So a break really for the White Sox. That would have been a couple of runs in if it stays on the field. It's a ground rule double and an RBI.
Yeah, so he gets 3-0, throws him a fastball, and then comes back with a changeup. So you got to see 4 changeups in that at bat, and then he hits it. I mean, it ends up in the middle of the plate, which is where you have to pitch. 3-1, and then the ball is carrying here tonight, and well, Garcia can't run it up, and there's that run saver because it bounces into the stands.
14 RBIs for Seth. There's Castillo going back to third. Out to the mound with the 2 down here, and the 3rd out Pelfrey can't find, and a very big at bat coming up. The Orioles another base hit, and they can cut that White Sox lead in half. Driska's ready to go. Renteria letting his pitching coach go out one more time. And Adam Jones coming up. So the Orioles finally find the big hit from the bat of Seth Smith to get on the board. 6-1. Both starters face key moments early in this ball game, and it hasn't stopped for Pelfrey. First 3 innings he got out of it with those ground ball double plays, but not here, although he's got a chance now to get out of it with just 1 run. Adam Jones has hit into the double play twice. Runners at second and third. Pelfrey's delivery to him will be outside for a ball.
Yeah, he's almost even. I mean, that's now 40 balls and 42 strikes. 2-0 lead after 2, 6-0.
He's into that dangerous territory at 82. One-zero count, 2 down. Runners off second and third. Pelfrey's delivery. That's a big hit into left field. That will store Castillo, and the throw to the cutoff man will hold the runner Smith at third. Adam Jones comes through with the RBI base hit. And the Orioles get a couple in here in the inning, and that is going to be it. So, name of the game around baseball looks a lot like this.
Yep, but here's a splitter again. It tumbles up there. Actually, not that bad a pitch, but a nice approach. Bounced into a double play on a similar pitch the last time. Lines it into left.
They get a pitcher who had a 6-0 lead and cannot get through the fifth.
Pelfrey, as he's going to lead the game, couldn't even get the 12 outs. He needed 15 to get the win, so he'll leave with a couple of runners on. And again, Jake Petrichka comes in, and last year had a hip problem, so hardly pitched at all. 64 games the year before. Hard thrower, mid-90s, and he's got a nice hard slider to go along with it, and changeup at 87. And won his distinctions, and again missed all last year. Only 6 home runs in 2013. So the Orioles really only one swing away from getting right back into this game.
Manny Machado 1 for 3, a home run off Petrichka. Orioles have runners at first and third, 2 down. Manny will take the pitch for a strike. Manny a single, a walk, getting back into the lineup after feeling fine at the plate during batting practice. He was put in the lineup originally, and Buck Showalter said we'll see if he stays. He did, and now gets a big chance. 0-1 count with 2 down. Petrichka's delivery, and that's going to be away for a ball.
Yeah, this is only because of the lat strain, the second appearance of the year on the disabled list early April. Did give up 3 runs against the Indians, but a veteran right-hander who, when he's healthy, and I'm not sure that's the case now, pretty adept at getting hitters out.
And inside, runner will stay. Smith able to find it.
A little changeup right there that he can't quite get a hold of it. Bottom dropped out. And he sits away, and the ball just runs in, and he's kind of off the webbing of his glove.
First appearance for Petrichka against the Orioles this year. His 11th in his career. Owns a 2.61 ERA against the Orioles. Machado, 2 ball, 1 strike count. Manny goes after it, chops it off himself in the batter's box. So that'll even the count up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, certainly not the game being dominated by pitchers. This is a game where both teams have had an inordinate number of base runners on through the first 3 and a third inning, 3 and 2/3 innings in this ball game. And the Orioles trying to battle back after trailing 6-0. They've made it 6-2. Runners on first and third, 2-2. Runner not going at first, way outside.
Yeah, there's 96, but not even close to being a strike. Anytime you start, and the ratio that I think, at least on the staffs that I pitched, 2-1. 2-1 strikes to balls. Today was almost 50-50 for both of these guys.
Full count. So the Orioles will get the advantage of Adam Jones running over there at first base on the 3-2 count. Adam picking up the RBI, his 29th of the year. Runner goes. Change up, got him. So Petrichka comes on and gets the strikeout, but the Orioles will pick up a couple of runs, as it will be Smith and Jones picking up the RBIs, and it is a 6-2 lead for the Sox. But with the Orioles repeatedly, and we got another one of those coming up here. After your team scores, can you come back and shut down the opponent? The Orioles have not done that well this year. You see the lowest shutdown inning percentage. The Orioles have that at 65.2 with the Mets, Brewers, Braves, and Giants. Well, let's see what happens here. Pitch on the way, a strike in the outside corner. Tim Anderson started the third inning with a base hit and scored. 9 came to the plate, 4 runs, 4 hits in the third. Anderson will take it down low. Cabrera, then Abreu due up against Jimenez, who came on, gave up a single, but got a couple of strikeouts to end that third inning. Ubaldo's delivery on the way. Locked him up, but the pitch was not in the strike zone, and Anderson takes it. So Jimenez on, as both teams have had to go to the bullpen. Pelfrey charged with the 2-run 6 hits over 3 2/3. Ground ball towards second. Scope will get it over there in time, and Anderson is retired. 1 down. Orioles baseball on Masson, brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you, and by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on their most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Gary Thorne, Jim Palmer here in Chicago, south side. Temperature in the mid-90s today in the city, and we were at 93 at game time. 1 away. Melky Cabrera up the middle for a base hit. So Melky's been up 3 times and been on all 3, 2 singles and a walk.
Yeah, back up the middle, and you know, again, if you fall off a little bit. The days of Jim Cott, you know, 116 straight Gold Gloves, Mike Messina with 7, Greg Maddux, kind of gone. Part of repeating your windup, actually, you become a defender once you release it.
Not many pitchers think about that anymore, do they? Jose Abreu coming up.
Yeah, especially balls hit to your glove side. You know, I mean, it's one little bit different. I mean, you fall off towards first base a little bit. Gibson, of course, Bob was one of the great pitchers of all time. He did that. Can't get to the ones to the shortstop side.
Taken away by Abreu, base hit, RBI, and he has lined out a lifetime .356 hitter against the Orioles with 7 career home runs. Jose Abreu, big power threat. Runner at first, 1 out.
Well, his first year, he had 36 home runs, then 30, then 25. You know, still, again, 175 hits or more, puts him up there with what Joe DiMaggio and Pujols, the guys to be able to do that their first 3 years in the big leagues. Pretty good company. And the home runs went to all different parts.
Ball in the air to center field. Adam Jones going back. Adam looking, can't get it. It'll take a hop and go up and over, and it's a ground rule double.
Yeah, you hit it hard enough, and the ball knuckles a little bit. Even the Gold Glovers don't get a good read on it. I think he thought he had this ball tracked, and it just kept going.
Ball really carrying, as we said here tonight.
Yeah, you're seeing the last part of it. He just can't catch up with it. And so initially right here, see, I mean, he just thinks right there, and then all of a sudden he realized that ball's not coming down. I mean, it really smoked.
Adam still struggling with problems with the hips, ankle, legs. He's beat up a little bit. You see on that left foot, he's trying to pick it up. He limped on it after that ball went over his head. So now the infield's got to be drawn in halfway to start here. Garcia's had a double. Fielder's choice, RBI and a run scored, and he will foul that one off. No. So we were talking about, can you shut him down after you get a run? Take a look at our Heritage Automotive road ahead. Heritage Automotive offering you 20 convenient locations throughout the Baltimore area. Visit them in store or online at heritagedealers.com.
Yeah, and Garcia, I mean, he turned 26 today, so he already has an RBI for his birthday. What a year he's having for a young player.
Pitch will be taken outside. He's got a 5-game hit streak now. Celebrating, as Jim said, a birthday today with a double and an RBI in the third inning.
We played in 120 games last year, hit 12 home runs and 51 RBIs. He already has 10 home runs and 43 RBIs. And you're what, about a third of the season. I was reading Rick Renneria, the manager of the White Sox, said, well, he's matured. He's got a great approach, nice little work ethic. And then again, he gets to watch Jose Abreu hit. It doesn't hurt.
It's Frazier, a hot bat behind him. He has hit Jimenez hard, 7 for 13. Ground ball chopper foul. So Jose in the inning. Abreu with a double. Cabrera the single, putting 2 more in scoring position. And Ubaldo going to find a way out of this. The infield will stay halfway. They're not moving in on the pitch. So if the runner Cabrera's not fleet of foot, not bad, but average speed, if he goes to the plate, they'll go after him in the infield. 1-2 delivery and a chopper. He is going to go to the plate and he's going to make it. He's not the only one. Abreu will come around to score. Slow roller into center field. 3 RBI ball game for Garcia, and it is 8-2.
Well, young hitter and really good approach. Yeah, Darryl Boston, first base coach, former major leaguer, saying, hey. So again, they try to come in. Of course, he doesn't get it in. I mean, he misses by about a foot. So the ball becomes more hittable, and he just pings it back up the middle where nobody's playing.
So Garcia.
I mean, Gary, all again, we talked about it in the opening. Right there, perfect example. You try to, I mean, these guys are hot. The Yankees were hot. Red Sox can hit. You can go down, you know, the Nationals, even though they didn't play, what, 3 or 4 of their best players when they made the makeup game. They're hot. You got to make your pitches. And even then, it's not easy.
44 RBIs for Garcia, ties him for 4th in the American League in RBIs. He's on at first base. And a couple more runs in and add to the numbers we showed you. Another inning where the Orioles do not shut down the opponent after they have put some runs on the board. Not only that, White Sox have picked up the 2 runs the Orioles got and put them right back up. Pitches away, and there's only 1 down.
Yeah, you think you're back in the game, and then you send your guy out there, and you're not. That is frustrating. Nobody points fingers. It's just that's how you lose.
1 ball, 1 strike count, 1 down. Frazier is 0 for 2. We have a report on Chris Davis, who had to come out of the ball game after his second at bat in the 3rd inning. He has a right oblique strain. Right oblique strain. Chris Davis. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Garcia, not a big lead at first base. Jimenez 2-1 delivery on the way, the other way, and foul. Frazier looking to keep it going. Already in double digits in hits. 10. 8 runs on 10 hits for the White Sox tonight. 6 by Miley, 4 hit department, 6 hits off Wade, and the 4 off Ubaldo. 2-2. Going to come in on the inside corner and miss with it.
Thought it might have been high enough. Certainly wanted it. Frazier very pleasantly surprised because that pitch has been a strike on occasion tonight.
Last 7 games hitting over .460. He's had 3 homers, 7 RBIs in those ball games. A 3 ball 2 strike count. 1 runner goes and swung on and fouled off.
Yeah, and again, going back to the point he made about Don Cooper suggesting the pitching coach, asking Todd Steverson, the pitching instructor, do you mind if he comes down and tracks pitches? And there's a good splitter. And again, maybe because he does that, he's able to foul it off. Certainly wasn't the case. You know, again, just barely got over 200. But he's a power guy. 98 RBIs with 40 home runs last year, even though he only hit .225.
Frazier's had an 0 for 4 against Ubaldo. Runner goes again. Swung on, miss. Throw down. Not in time. Shortstop side of the bag on the throw by Wellington Castillo. So a strikeout of Frazier, stolen base Garcia.
Yeah, he had to catch a splitter, and then again, if it's over on the other side, only the second out of 4 attempts by Garcia. So again, you can see him pull it right there. Nice swipe tag by Jonathan Scope, but not quite in time. Other side of the bag, he's out. Yeah, they call it that pop-up time. You want to be.
He really knows how to slide.
Yeah,
it's an amazing thing.
And he didn't go in. They lost their center fielder Garcia. The other one of the they have 3 Garcias.
Yes.
Leori Garcia because he went in and actually hit Lindor's, I think, spike or whatever in Cleveland. So he has a bruised left hand.
Runner at second base, though. There are 2 down. Davidson, an RBI base hit his last time up. He is 1 for 2 in the ball game. 2 runs in here in the 4th inning. Davidson trying to add to it. 1-0 delivery to him. Good pitch down and away, and a 1-ball 1-strike count. Matt Davidson out of Arizona. Only 26 years old. White Sox just 2 at-bats in 1 game last year. 1-1 delivery on the way, and a ball that got him to go after one at 84.
Yeah, I don't know if you can throw it any better than those 2 pitches. He'd still be starting if he was throwing that kind of breaking ball. That's about as good as it gets.
Addison Reed went to Arizona. Matt Davidson came to the White Sox, and he's their DH tonight. He will step out. Garcia back to second base. Davidson really waited it out in the minors, over 930 minor league games. And a swing and a miss. So Jimenez gets his 4th strikeout, 2 in a row here, but a couple of runs in on 3 hits with the runner left on. Reality into it. I thought this was a great article. According to the NCAA, about 1 in every 200 high school seniors who play baseball will eventually be drafted. First round draft picks, the best of the best, will play, and only 66% of them will make it to the majors. It drops down to 49% of the time in the second round, goes all the way down to 7% for players drafted after the 21st round. You round it all up, only 7% of the players drafted by Major League Baseball will actually play in the majors. 7%. That's why I labeled it "Stay in School."
Yeah.
Pick on the way, and that'll be taken inside. Now the Orioles, of course, the draft going on. Their first overall pick came in the 21st spot, and they got a left-handed pitcher who was a high school player.
He was actually in Baseball America at a mock draft. He was the 16th ranked. So actually he dropped down, not dropped down, but he was available 4 levels down.
High school players were the going thing here early on in the draft tonight. A number of high school kids picked early on. Pitch taken for a strike. What he said about that: go ahead, sign if the money's big enough so that you don't want to give it up, but do not give up going to school. Make plans. That's going to be lined into center field for a base hit. So the Orioles get the leadoff man on here, as they've got to mount a comeback again, and Trumbo's got the single. The Orioles take on the Cleveland Indians June 19 through the 22nd at Camden Yards. Wednesday, June 21, all fans are going to get the Dylan Bundy t-shirt. Show your Birdland pride, paint the park orange. Good seats remain available for as low as $15. For tickets, Orioles.com or 888-848-BIRD. Trumbo gets his first hit. Second time on, he had a walk. Leadoff man on. And Kim gets his first at bat, coming on for Chris Davis, who left with the oblique strain. So Young-Soo Kim stands in. The Orioles have 7 hits, but only a couple of runs put up on the board. Kim will slash it on the ground, foul outside of first base.
So here's the scouting report on D.L. Hall. Arguably the highest ceiling of any pitcher in this year's class, talking about high school. Velocity sometimes settles in the low 90s, but mostly works at 92 to 95, touches 96. Fastball command can come and go. Well, that's certainly went through that. Good athlete. Scouts expect him to develop better command as he matures physically. Curveball, exceptionally late break, 1 to 7 shape, so that means he's not right over the top. And they think he's a future 60. That's 60 out of 80. So that's pretty high up there. You don't see too many 80s.
No, you don't see any by most scouts. They won't do it. That would be a perfect score.
And
Well,
of course, some other scouts thought he might be as high as the 70.
So where was he committed to? Florida something?
Florida
State.
Yep.
That'll be fouled off.
Oh, actually, he will turn. He's 18. He will turn 19 in September. So maybe a little bit. There's Gregory Infante. So you get a guy with a plus arm. Yep. That's what you're looking for.
Kim's got a 3-2 count. Trumbo on at first base, nobody out. Diggs' pitch grounded towards second base. Sanchez, Anderson, Abreu.
Yeah, not the most deftly turned double play. I thought he was going to. I thought Sanchez was going to underhand it, but he goes overhand, and then it looked like Anderson had trouble getting out of the glove, but Taylor made. See right there, kind of drops the elbow, and then snap throw. Not a lot of speed, able to throw him out. Fourth double play of the night for the White Sox.
Orioles have hit themselves out of potential innings with those ground ball double plays. So 2 down, Jonathan Scope. He's been hit by a pitch, drawn a walk. He scored in the 4th inning. Orioles getting RBIs from Smith and Jones, fouled off. You saw a double play turned there by Anderson, the shortstop, that you rarely would have seen before the new slide rule went into effect. Very few Keystone players would hold themselves on the bag the way he did and subject themselves to being spiked or run into or bowled over. Usually you either take it and you come across the bag, head to right field and throw, or you take it and back up towards center, pushing off the bag. He just stood there because why not? If somebody hits him, it's probably going to be interference.
Yeah, every once in a while. Yeah, but it's a good way to get hurt. Mike Burdick always talked about it, is that when you go to throw, you better, you obviously you have to land on your front leg, which would be your left leg if you're right-handed, but it has to also be able to get up and be soft. Otherwise, that's how you get the knee injuries.
Pitch on the way will be down low.
I saw Davey Johnson once, when I was trying to inquire about how he was turning all those double plays behind me. He said, well, there's about 6 or 7 different ways. I said, okay.
Yep. A lot of ways to come across the bag. And completely different, of course, depending on whether you're short or second. The angle, swinging and a miss. So the Orioles send only 3 up, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. 4th double play hit into eliminated a leadoff runner. Cal Jr. became the first Oriole to go 6 for 6 as the Orioles scored the most runs in their franchise history, beating the Braves 22-1. And in 1946, the Veterans Committee elected Jack Cheesebro into the Hall of Fame. He became the only player enshrined in Cooperstown who actually played baseball in Cooperstown. He played minor league baseball when he first started his career. Ended up 11 years in the majors with 198 wins, 260 complete games, and 35 shutouts. Happy Jack Cheesebro. I always thought there was some magic in the fact, I did not realize till I went to the Hall of Fame a number of years ago, that the Susquehanna River starts there.
There's a little, you go over a little bridge, and right there's a sign that says, it comes out of Lake Oswego, and he goes, this is actually the mouth of the Susquehanna.
That'll be, lost it in the lights. Ball's going to go all the way to the screen. Garcia's on his way to third, thinking about going the rest of it. He'll be held up. It'll be a triple. Seth Smith came over. He saw it off the bat, and then it disappeared.
And not the first time this has ever happened. You think, he hits it all right, you have it tracked, and then you just don't see it. And of course, I can't tell whether they have LED lights here or not. A lot of the parks have switched to that. But a lot of times it gets in those and these are high here. This stadium goes up. So a routine out is a triple.
Yep. So Willie Garcia is on to lead off the 5th inning with the 11th hit for the White Sox. And now Smith will get another RBI chance. He's had a home run, his major league first, and a single. The home run was good for 2 RBIs. What I was going to say about that, Jim, was that it just I seem like magic that the Susquehanna River would start in Cooperstown and it would run through
all the way to Chesapeake Bay, I believe.
All the way to Williamsport, Pennsylvania, the home of Little League Baseball, which I always thought was just kind of neat. That ball tagged. Adam Jones near the warning track will put it away. Run will score. Garcia tags up. RBI for Smith. And it is a 9-2 White Sox lead. And just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in our game tonight, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Yeah, and it's not. I mean, when you go across 95 going up to New York, it's got to be like a mile wide.
Yeah,
I canoed it's just a little stream. I mean, I think Lake Oswego is about 9 Mile lake.
Yeah. Susquehanna's a beautiful river.
Yeah, it really is.
You can take a canoe up there in the lake and then go in. There's a dam, I don't know, a couple of miles down. It's as far as you can go, but it's kind of neat. The headwaters of the Susquehanna, and you canoe down a little bit and come back. And I always would think of that when I did Little League Baseball. I'd look and I'd see the river right outside of the Little League ball complex. And there's the Susquehanna flowing by, and I think it started at the Cooperstown, the Hall of Fame. Foul back. Careers flow the other way, but the river goes that way.
Well, for some guys, yeah, you got to go. Of course, I'll tell you what. I mean, you know, maybe you're going upstream, but if you ever do get there, it's worth it.
It's worth it.
Yeah, it's not a club you say, nope, I have no interest in joining. I don't want to be part of this.
Sanchez at the plate. Ground ball will go to second. That hit right in front of the plate. Scope gets it over there in time. And there are two down here in the fifth inning. Oriole fans, when the Orioles score 5 runs or more, get 50% off regular menu price online orders at papajohns.com with promo code Orioles5. Better ingredients, better pizza. Papa John's.
Yeah, the first time I ever went to Cooperstown, I think it was 1983. It was the year that Brooks Robinson got in. We weren't there for the induction, but we played the next day. We played the exhibition game there, and I remember Cal Jr. and I going through the museum. Didn't have a lot of time, but I mean, you're in awe.
Yes, certainly are.
And then, and of course, the year I got in, that's the only time it's ever been rained out. So Joe Morgan and I actually were in a little gymnasium the day after on that Monday, and I still remember Joe says, "Thank God you went first." And I said, "No, you went first, Joe." So you do get a little nervous when with the speech and all that, but and again, I guess maybe when you're 9-2 you can tell the story, but the night before they passed the microphone around, and Stan Musial, Stan the man, had been, you know, not injured, but he had some kind of illness or whatever, and Ted Williams grabbed the mic and he started talking, and then each of the Hall of Famers talked about it's good to see this guy and whatever, and then that's when you realize you're in a pretty special fraternity.
Well, that's that Friday night, which I've had the humble opportunity to join.
You went
number of years.
The ceremony on many occasions.
Yeah. Friday nights when the players get together at the hotel downstairs, and what goes on there stays there, but it's a great joining of these great players, and not telling anything out of school, but they sing. Stan would play the harmonica. I mean, it's glorious. A swing and a miss and a strikeout. That'll be number 5. But another run in on the sac fly by Smith. Our Mazda do-ups. It'll be Mancini, Castillo, and Hardy. By Ocean City. Put your vacation days to good use in Ocean City. Book now at OCOcean.com. And by American Standard Heating and Air. Go to MidAtlanticComfort.com for special offers and to find a dealer near you. Take a look on the south side. First to 4. And the White Sox have a 9-2 lead going to the 6th. Orioles have tried to get back a couple of runs, but the White Sox came right back and answered and added another one to it. So for the Orioles, they've had opportunities in this ball game. They have not been set down 1-2-3 in the game. It'll be foul back and a big cut by Trey Mancini, who's had a base hit. Endy is struck out. Petriska on in relief. Pelfrey worked 3 2/3. He gave up 2 runs, 6 hits, 5 walks, and 2 strikeouts. Did not go far enough to be considered for the victory in the game, while Wade Miley worked only 2 2/3, 6 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks. Could be the loser. Strike 3 call.
Yeah, again, I mean, power arm. He's got, he's gotten change up. That's a 2-seamer that runs back. And you have to understand Trey Mancini. I mean, he come through the minors, he made great adjustments, can use the whole field, but you're seeing guys with maybe a little bit more giddy up, a little bit more movement than you've ever seen before. But he's made and will have to make, adjustments. That's the name of this game.
Wellington Castillo takes a strike. Petrichka's got a chance to be the winner in this ball game. With Pelfrey not going deep enough, he finishes this inning. He'll be in line potentially for a win. That's up to the official score. 0-1 delivery on the way, and that is taken down low. And he's working strikes here against the Oriole hitters, which is what the manager and pitching coach want to see when you got that big lead going 9-2.
Well, the other thing is tension plays such a big part of this game. Whether you're hitting, squeeze the bat too much, grip the ball. When you've got a 7-run lead and you're a veteran, and this guy's got good stuff, not a whole lot of tension.
Nope. 1 ball, 2 strike count on Wellington Castillo.
You get in a close game, one pitch can mean so much. One call could mean so much. But again, when you're trailing by 5-6 runs early, now 7, and there's a perfect pitch right on the corner. Well, you give up on it because it's a 2-seamer that it starts off the plate, and at 96. This is what I was talking about, what Mancini's trying to deal with. Watch it run back. And again, it's been a big outside strike all night long. Smith nicely receives it somewhere around the corner.
Just turned 29 years old for the reliever for the White Sox. 2 down. Here is J.J. Hardy. He'll take it up high. Hardy has popped out, picked up a base hit. Everybody on the White Sox involved in the offense, except for Sanchez, who's batting in the 9th spot, and their hottest hitter, Frazier. Everybody else has either driven somebody in or scored or gotten on base. But they'll have chances to catch up with the other members of their team, since we're only in the top of the 6th. Breaking ball is going to miss inside. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Orioles trying to avoid a 5-game losing streak. White Sox trying to take advantage, getting back home. That'll be pulled foul, off speed, and really yanked that one.
Yeah, well, in this 9-20 run where you only win 9 out of 29 games after being 22-10, they've had what, a couple of 4-game losing streaks and a 7. On the win column, 2 4-game winning streaks and a 6-game winning streak.
2-2 delivery on the way. We'll go to third. Frazier. And there is the first 1-2-3 inning that the Orioles have hit into. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. The White Sox on top. Coming promotions including a Zach Britton bobblehead, an infielder's bottle stopper set, 25th anniversary Oriole Park replica ballpark, and more. For tickets, Orioles.com/tickets or 888-848-BIRD.
I mean, if there's anything left in the bottle, right? Bottle stopper.
I love those. Don't you? I mean, that's a great idea.
Oh, it is. No,
it's a great idea.
They're novelties.
Yeah. Bottom half of the inning. Jimenez delivers. Cabrera takes it up high. Cabrera's had a night as he's picked up 2 singles, scored 2 runs. He has reached on a walk. So Melky Cabrera very much involved in the offense, and he will take the pitch up high.
Well, you touch on, I mean, he's 286 lifetime hitter. He plays left field pretty well. He is a switch hitter, so Ubaldo, other than the ball that was misplayed, has actually pitched pretty well.
Ubaldo came on in the 3rd inning, gave up a single but got 2 strikeouts, then 2 runs on 3 hits in the 4th inning against him, and a run in the 5th inning on the ball that got lost in the lights. It ended up being a triple on the fly ball to right. 3 ball, 1 strike count of Melky Cabrera. He will take the strike at the knees. Melky is a switch hitter. We've seen him both sides of the plate, hitting .238 right, .277 left. 4 home runs. 4 of the 5 have come from the other side of the plate. Cabrera ground that to third. This is going to be a long throw. Manny. And held on to the bag. Good play over there by Trey Mancini.
Yeah, nice play all around. You know, Manny had just such great range on the run. I'm sure that Cabrera said, I got it myself a base hit. He's running hard. And again, look at the nice stretch by Trey Mancini, who played a lot of first base in the minors. Primarily, that's what he was. And
so Manny back and looking like Manny in the ball game. That's good news. Trey Mancini, who started in left field, makes a fine play over there at first base. Hope we'll have a chance to talk to Trey tomorrow. Have him on in our open tomorrow to open up the broadcast. Here's Abreu. Jose Abreu will take the pitch away. He has doubled, singled, lined out. He's scored twice and has picked up an RBI. So Abreu joining the attack of the White Sox in this game. Baldo Jimenez, the 1-0 pitch on the way, and that's a strike in the inside corner. This is a 4-game set for the Orioles. Tomorrow, Alec Asher against Derek Holland, another left-hander. 7:30, O's Extra. 8 o'clock on Masson 2 for the ball game. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery. Other games will have Dylan Bundy against Miguel Gonzalez. And it'll be Chris Tillman and David Holmberg, the day game. Just joining the team today, Castro just came up as the Orioles made yet another move today. And that one will be fouled off.
now he actually pitched well for the Orioles in Detroit. About 3 weeks ago.
The roster moves to keep on coming. Miguel Castro, right-hander, was at Bowie. Logan Verrett down to AAA Norfolk. And the 2-2 delivery by Jimenez over the top and got him.
Well, again, when the lines are good, the splitter will split. In other words, you can stay behind it. When he always goes a little bit left, doesn't really use his front side. A little bit better there, and then boy, it just tumbles. You think it's in the zone, and Abreu can hit. Can't catch up with that one. So stuff pretty good. And Gregory Infante once again back up and throwing. And Patricia just came off the disabled list, so they're very pleased with the job he's done.
Well, Baldo's reached his season high in strikeouts. Second time he's had 6. He did it against Washington. 2 down. Here in the 6th inning. Garcia single, double, fielder's choice. He has scored a run and he has driven in 3 on his 26th birthday. Garcia with 2 down, nobody on, 6th inning. Will this be the kind of performance that gets the Baldo's name back in contention for a start?
I just don't know. Yeah, I mean, they're desperate. You think Alex Asher, he gets a chance, and then he can be good, and then he can be really bad. You know, for 2 innings down in Texas, 4 innings in his last start. Gosman struggled all year. That's the biggest surprise to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I certainly know, have pitched almost 20 years. They take away whatever you did the previous year, and then you got to start from scratch. But it looked like he had made some, genuine progress last year. You know, all the ability in the world.
2-1 delivery on the way to Garcia in the air, center. Adam Jones camps under it and puts it away in a 1-2-3 inning against the White Sox by Jimenez. It remains the White Sox leading it 9-2.
Orioles trying to break a 4-game losing streak, and Devin Smith, after the 2-out walk, hits his first major league home run, makes it 2-0, and then next inning, and really the next batter, Sanchez, line drive, 3rd time they have hit Miley in 2 starts this year. So kind of a shooting gallery. He will leave, and And again, happy birthday. Third RBI, played 7-2 at that time. Makes it 9-2. Jose Garcia with 3 RBIs tonight. Those are your Geico highlights. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. Gregory Infante, hard throwing righty. Fastball, curveball, slider. I mean, fastball in the mid 90s. Maybe we'll touch a little bit more. So you can see again the numbers against righties higher than you would think. But a youngster having a chance to pitch in the big leagues.
Great job by Petriska, in line to pick up a win. 2 1/3. He gave up only 1 hit, struck out 4. Infante comes on. Orioles bat, 7th inning. And the pitch will be taken for a strike. Top of the order, Smith, 2 walks, an RBI double. Adam Jones, and then Manny Machado. A 1 delivery on the way. Foul. Orioles starters coming into this ball game over the last 5 games had an ERA of 14.5 in the last 5 games, and that is going to go up tonight with the 6 runs on 6 hits in just 2 2/3 innings from Wade Miley. Just seems to be a sieve that the Orioles can't stop the flow out of. Ground ball up the middle. The shift was on here. That's the 3rd baseman, Frazier. 1 down. Enter to win a meet and greet with Adam Jones on Twitter. Look for this photo on @MastonOrioles to enter, and be sure to check out the 811 bike and car courtesy of Miss Utility this Saturday and Sunday at Oriole Park. Follow @MastonOrioles on Twitter for more information. Miss Utility reminds you to always call 811 before you dig. It's the law. I can't plant any more roses. Silence you hear is a simple regrouping. Here is Adam Jones at the plate, 1 down, nobody on, and the pitch will be taken inside. Adams had a base hit and an RBI. Got that his last time up. Has hit into 2 double plays, 2 of the 4 that the Orioles have hit into tonight. He and Seth Smith have the 2 RBIs. And the heater, pretty good one.
Yep. Well, you think when he gets he makes a nice adjustment after the 2 crown ball double plays, and he drives in the 2nd run. Now it's 6-2. You got a chance to maybe add a couple more runs in that inning. You don't, and then they get 2, and then another 2, and that's how you get to being trailing by 7.
Right there in the inside corner, throwing at that 95, 96 mile an hour pace.
Yeah, I mean, if this game is 4-2, 5-2, you're right here. You take a walk. This guy hits a bloop double or whatever, single, and all of a sudden, tension for the White Sox. Not the case when you have a 7-run lead.
Infante, first appearance against the Orioles this year, puts one down and away. It'll be fought off. And a 3-2 count.
And it's hard when you're an aggressive team. I mean, the Orioles, they are what they are. On base percentage, we showed you that one graphic. They don't do a lot of walking. That pitch right there, normally you might take in a close game, but when you're down by 7, that ball was probably low and away. Certainly gets Infante back into the count. And as we said, he's got good stuff.
3-2 delivery on the way to Adam, and another one fought back. 17,665 the announced attendance tonight. 17,665 on hand. As we said, a real summer night. 93 degrees when we started. It's cooled down a little bit. A little breeze has been blowing out towards left and center. It's kept a couple of foul ball pop-ups on the first base side in play tonight. 3-2 delivery coming again, and Jones will go down swinging.
Again, I think this curveball, he thinks it's going to end up out over the plate. It backs up a little bit. The backup slider, curveball in this case, And it just, I think it's going to break out over the plate, just swing right over the top of it.
So there's the number that Jim had talked about earlier, this White Sox and their bullpen.
Well, I think the number to look at, I mean, right here, again, I mean, as good as they are, they're only they've only had 20 opportunities. Indians, they're right at 500. The Dodgers and the Diamondbacks and the Rockies with much better records and more opportunity. But 20 out of 20 is still good. I mean, they are maintaining the leads that they get.
Pitch is taken for a strike. Manny Machado. A walk, a single, and he is struck out, back in the lineup for the Orioles, and all has been well. He's been able to swing the bat, seemingly unaffected by that left wrist. It's wrapped up tight, and in the field has had a couple of Manny plays. So great to see Manny back and apparently ready to go. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 down. 8 in a row have been retired by the White Sox. Slider, big movement, but ended up out of the strike zone. So Infante falls behind here, 2 balls and 1 strike. Machado with 2 down, nobody on. Orioles being out hit 11-7. More importantly, though, outscored 9-2. Pitch by Infante, came in a bit, fouled off overhead. The Orioles all time here are on the negative side of it. They've won 172, lost 216. Pitch will be taken down low. Or I'm sorry, let me correct that. It's 183 to 202 here. White Sox favor.
Really?
Orioles have the advantage at home.
Probably the late 50s. No good teams. In fact, went to the World Series in '59. Louis Aparicio on that team. Ted Kluszewski.
Off the end of the bat. What a cue shot that is. Throw is in time. That's a pretty good throw. Abreu to go a long way over by second base in order to get that. 7th inning stretch time here in Chicago. 9-2 White Sox. Savings on select models and Hyundai's history. It's going on now at your Hyundai dealer. 7th inning stretch time here in Chicago. 9-11-0 for the White Sox. 2-7-1 for the Orioles as we go to the 7th inning. Just recall Miguel Castro up from Bowie.
You can see he did come up and pitch in the Tiger series early. He was actually traded from Colorado early in the year. And again, took a while to come through the minor leagues, get his innings in. Hard throwing righty. He threw a lot of strikes with the strike throwing machine actually when he pitched in Detroit.
Frazier will lead it off against him. Todd Frazier's had an 0 for 3 fly ball pop out strikeout, trying to extend a hit streak he's got that's now at 4 games. Frazier, Davidson, and then Willie Garcia. At Bowie this year, 19 1/3 innings out of the bullpen, a 2-0 record, but a 5.59 ERA.
Yeah, just 19. How do you? I don't know. I got frustrated here because I always thought one of the great things for all the guys that I played coming up in A-ball, AA is they got to pitch. So you got to learn how to throw strikes, and when you're a little bit tired and you don't have your best stuff, and you know, start lowing away. If you miss, you bring it back over the corner. You don't. But he does have a. We saw in Detroit. He does have a powerful arm. We first saw him when he came up with Toronto. They anointed him as closer.
Yeah.
And then they went to Osuna, who's done a great job for him.
2 ball, 2 strike count on Frazier. Todd will take it inside, knee level.
But you can see fastball, slider, changeup. The changeup there at 90. So he's got a power arm.
He had 10 strikeouts, 4 walks at Bowie in those 19 1/3. And he's got a 3 ball, 2 strike count on Frazier. Todd will foul it off right at the plate. So Ubaldo Jimenez, good job coming on for Miley. 3 2/3 innings. Did give up the 3 runs, 5 hits, struck out 6. As we said, tying his season high in strikeouts.
Yeah, with a little better outfield defense, he doesn't give up a run.
Yep.
I mean, Seth Smith loses the one in the lights, and Adam Jones didn't get a good read. Looked like he's hobbling around out there.
That one, a line shot's going to stay up. Kim will put it away. Frazier is retired. 1 down, 7th inning. Help support the patients and families at the University of Maryland Medical Center by attending a special fundraising event for Shannon's Fund Friday, August 18 at Oriole Park. Ticket packages begin as low as $50 and include a game ticket, an exclusive pregame barbecue. For tickets and more, Orioles.com/Shannon's Fund. Here's Matt Davidson. Davidson, an RBI single. He has grounded out, struck out. Slider tied him up in a good one. RBIs in the middle. Abreu picking up 1. Garcia picking up 3. Davidson with 1, and then down towards the bottom. Catcher Smith has had a career first home run, 2 RBIs, and has had a sac fly. So he's got a 3 RBI ball game going. 1 ball, 1 strike. Castro working to Davidson. Lifts it high in the air to left field. It's got legs, and goodbye home run.
Yeah, well, he lives to hit the fastball, and he finally gets one.
So Matt Davidson gets number 11, and a 2-homer ball game for the White Sox. Smith and Davidson.
Yeah, he takes the lead now. I mean, if this leads the White Sox, fastball right down Broadway, and you get into June when the weather's warm, over 90 degrees at game time, and these balls look like he maybe even got it up on the bat a little bit. Kim's going to run out of room, and they get their 10th run.
Swing and a miss. Willie Garcia, a walk, he scored, struck out, then delivered a triple, and the ball lost in the lights. Start the 5th inning, and then would score on a sac fly by Smith. So Davidson, what Jim was saying, 10 home runs have been hit by Abreu, Frazier, Garcia. They all have 10, and Davidson goes ahead of them with his 11th. 1 ball, 1 strikeout on Willie Garcia. 12 hits, 10 runs on 12 hits for the White Sox. Castro's delivery, breaking ball. The pitch is tied up a couple of hitters. Looks like it's going to come inside, and there's some pretty good movement back over the plate. One ball, 2 strike count. Shattered bat. That's going to fall in for a base hit. He'll make a big turn. Kim had a long run. He'll get it though and hold him to a single. So a 2 for 3 ball game, and a runner on with 1 away. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. One run in here in the bottom of the 7th. The runner on, 1 out. Kevin Smith coming up. The home run came in the 2nd inning. RBI sac fly in the 5th. 2 for 2. He's got a single in the middle there. White Sox have had as many as 19 hits in a ball game this year. They did that against Seattle. Same game in which they scored 16 runs. 0-1 count. Smith puts that one up in the air. Kim. Runner more than halfway. Willie Garcia will go back.
Yeah, he had to come over and then back again because of the ball carrying. What wind there was. Still blowing from right to left.
Two down. Yolmer Sanchez 0 for 3. He'd like to join the hit parade here in this ball game. Sanchez with 2 down. Runner still on at first base. Castro, first inning of relief, trying to end it right here, and the pitch will be up high for a ball. Roger McDowell, pitching coach, Buck Showalter.
They're probably talking about the arm angle, because when you drop your arm like that, it's hard to stay on top of any of your, whether your breaking ball or your changeup. There's a changeup that he pops up.
Second base, Jonathan Scope. He'll put it away, and that'll do it here in the 7th inning. A run on a couple of hits, no errors, 1 left on base, a 10-2 lead for Chicago. To you by T-Mobile. Games of interest to the Orioles, the Phillies, Red Sox there in the 10th now, tied at 5. Porcello, another not disaster night, but 5 runs, 10 hits in the 4th game, allowing 10 hits and 14 starts for him. Benintendi has had a 2-for-4 homer, a couple driven in. The Angels just starting against the Yankees. 2nd inning, they're up early. Tanaka didn't pitch against the Orioles, moved back for this game. 0-5, 10-7-2, trying to say he deserves to be in that rotation. Alex Meyer, career high 9 Ks last start. First time out against the Yankees. They were 6-1 against the Angels last year.
Well, this will be a nice test for Alex Meyer, who is a leggy right-handed version of Chris Sale. Was in the upper 90s with all his good games. He's throwing 95 to 97 and with a very, very good breaking ball.
He gets a chance tonight, and Tanaka gets a chance. See if he can come back and stay in that rotation. Foul ball out of play by Mike Trumbo.
Well, there's a perfect example. You want to talk about what's going on with the Orioles. I mean, Tanaka's been their best pitcher for the last 3 years when he's healthy, but he's throwing too many strikes, and they're ending up in the middle of the plate, and he can be wild, which he never was. And that's how you get an ERA as high as his is.
1 ball, 1 strike. Infante's delivery will be taken outside. So Trumbo, Kim, and then Scope. In case you joined us late, Chris Davis started the ball game, had to come out after a second at bat. And it's a right oblique strain that has taken Chris Davis out. So we'll get an update after the game from Buck Showalter. That's one of those where it's going to be very hard to tell how long he'll be out. Brad Brock in the Orioles bullpen.
Yeah, needs to get some work. Would love to get a closing opportunity. That's not going to be the case tonight.
2-2 delivery on the way. Will miss inside. The Trumbo looking to get on here. We're in the 8th inning. The White Sox got the 2-run homer in the 2nd inning by Kevin Smith and did not look back. They have had the lead throughout the ball game. 3-2 delivery. That's going to be lined to center field. Hit hard, right on the money. Bad read on that one by Garcia. Willie Garcia started in. Trumbo will go to second base, and he's got a stand-up double.
Yeah, Abreu did that to Adam Jones early on. You think you got a track on it. Ball just, ball more lively. Probably since the latter part of 2015. Right there. He's going lateral instead of going back. So, and the ball hit pretty much right at you. We saw it with Adam Jones. If you don't get an initial read, and it's very difficult to do, you're not going to catch up with it.
And he didn't. So Buck leaning over, talking to Adam Jones. I don't know what he said, but I'll take a guess. You want to come out? Runner on at second base. Orioles get the leadoff man on. Here's Kim. Hit into a double play, and the only at bat he has had. Orioles 2 for 7. With runners in scoring position. They have left 7 on base. Orioles will look back at those first 4 innings, in particular the first 3. And it looked like they were going to get on the board in each of those innings and had a hit into a ground ball double play in each of them. That ground ball is going to be a base hit. Kim's going to get an RBI. Trumbo will come around to score easily. And Kim with a single makes it a 10-3 ball game.
Yeah, it seems like he plays so infrequently that when he does get a chance, it's just a matter of getting him up 2-3 times, and then he gets a rhythm. Got a good change up to hit. So double single.
He just keeps hitting. Vote today, vote tomorrow, vote orange for your 2017 All-Stars, the MLB All-Star Game ballot. Vote at Orioles.com/vote and catch all the excitement of the 88th MLB All-Star Game July 11th live on Fox. Here's Jonathan Scope, nobody out, runner on. And Infante's delivery is taken inside for a ball. Orioles putting some hits up on the board. That'll go to third. That's going to be a fair ball down the line. Over to get it. Melky Cabrera. He'll hold the runner. In fact, throws behind the runner, but not a big turn by Kim. So a double and two singles. Jonathan Scope on 3 times tonight. A walk, hit by a pitch, and a single. And the Orioles, an 8th inning rally going here against Infante.
Yeah, Don Cooper is going to come out again for probably the 4th time tonight. Well, young pitcher. Well, I mean, he's young as far as major league experience. Actually, his sister is married to Freddie Garcia. He might be a father-in-law. I might say, hey, father-in-law, dad, what do you think? Don Cooper's going to go. Are you going to throw it on the corners? You're going to throw it down the middle because it's not working. The Phillies last year, Infante, so they just get a guy that can throw in the mid-90s. But all you have to do is look around, and if you don't make your pitches, it won't matter. Not anymore. Plus, I think the radar guns, say what they are, they're probably maybe a little jacked up a little bit.
Well, let's see if he can recover or if the Orioles can keep it going. 2 on, nobody out. Trey Mancini. A couple of strikeouts and a base hit. Trey will take it at the knees for a strike. Well, the Orioles cutting into it. The Orioles now have double digits in hits. They got 10.
They still have to get 27 outs.
Yeah. Orioles have mounted these late rallies. 1-2 pitch on the way outside. Smith not quite sure where it was, but he had it covered. And Infante, 2-ball, 2-strike count. Walling and Castillo waiting on deck for the Orioles. 3 up, 3 on. Kim off second base. Jonathan Scope off first. 2-2 delivery. Mancini drills that one down the line. Garcia going back, and goodbye home run. It just clears that shot fence, and the Orioles get a big 3 RBI blast from Trey Mancini. And all of a sudden find themselves right back in this ball game. It is 10-6.
Yep. Down by 4. And I'm sure that Infante is saying, well, hey, I really didn't make that bad a pitch. Well, not till it sailed over the wall. I think Garcia and Wright thought it was going to hit the top of the wall, so he just turned around and was going to play it off.
Let's take a look at our Lexus of Towson drive of the game.
Well, here we go again. I mean, this is outside middle, the approach. Do you let it travel? Yes. Do you have strength? Yes. Is it a home run? Another yes.
And that will require the White Sox to go to the bullpen again. Lexus of Towson, the area's #1 volume Lexus dealer for 7 straight years. Come see why at LexusofTowson.com. He's got 33 RBIs now, and the Orioles are back in it.
Yeah, Juan Minaya, they picked him up on waivers from Houston last year. And again, not going maybe to the stalwarts in the back of their bullpen, but he throws 94, throws about 50% fastball, curveball, and slider in there, and you can see inflated numbers. So obviously, there, Swarzak has pitched great, and you got Tommy Canley. So you got a lot of choices out in the bullpen, and they're just trying to hold this lead and somehow get 6 more outs.
Wellington Castillo stands in. Still nobody out here in the 8th inning, as the Orioles 4 up and 4 have scored here in the 8th. Castillo, a base hit. He is 1 for 3. Takes it for a strike. So Infante goes just an inning plus, and he gives up 4 runs on 4 hits. No walks, 1 strikeout, and the 3-run homer by Mancini, worth $500 to our Maryland Lottery contestant, Elwood Bierney. Congratulations. And a bouncer in the dirt. Now the Orioles need base runners as they'll try and get that potential tying run to the plate. Castillo, Hardy, and then the top of the order. One ball, one strike count for Minaya. And that is going to be on the outside corner.
Yeah. Castillo just kind of still has not. He knows how far outside that ball was. Advantage pitcher.
Manaya's first appearance against the Orioles. One ball, two strike count. Castillo will protect here, set up away, and right there.
And there's another one off the corner, and I don't know, Castillo, he can't believe it. It's just a horrible strike zone. And again, this one is just as far outside, and anytime you bring the glove that far back, take a look, not even close, neither of them. But he's been bad all night for whatever the reasons.
Yeah. Sometimes pitcher, sometimes hitter favored. So strikeout for Minaya. Here's Hardy. JJ will take a breaking ball in the inside corner.
And I think for Paul Emmel, it's easy to understand because he does sit on the left hand shoulder of the catcher, so he is looking across the plate. They'll kind of get in that slot right there. So, but he's up tall enough. He ought to be able to see. And I'm not saying it's easy to umpire because it isn't. But I mean, you are a big league umpire, so now you got the mainstays of the bullpen to get to Dave Robertson, their closer.
Brad Brock has been throwing for the Orioles, so he's ready to go. He'll come on for Castro. 0-1 count. Anaya's delivery to him will miss. A lot of pitches thrown in this game right from the beginning. There were a lot of 3-2 counts, a number of base runners on by both teams. Mancini getting the big home run here in the 8th inning, along with the RBI by Kim. Down to third and foul. The Orioles battling back late in the ball game. One ball, two strike count on JJ. Only 11 games with the White Sox for Minaya last year. Went 1-0. Spent most of the time in the minors. Last year was his first chance at the major league level. 26-year-old. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Minaya's delivery the other way and foul. A lot of runs, a lot of hits combined in this one. We're up to 16 runs and 24 hits. Mancini, first game for Trey here on the south side of Chicago, and he gets a 3-run homer in his first game here. 2 ball, 2 strike pitch on the way to Hardy in the air to center. Garcia. 2 away in the 8th. Join us tomorrow as game 2 of this 4-game set will feature Alec Asher on the mound against Derek Holland. Our coverage on MASN 2 begins at 7:30. O's Extra presented by Jeep, followed by coverage at 8. All the access you need right here on MASN.
So Alec Asher, the Orioles are hoping that he will be more consistent than he has been of late. The same with Derek Holland, who had a great start. He's struggling lately. I watched one of his games the other night, struggling with his command. But and again, the ability to throw to both sides but not command it, and that gets you into trouble.
2 down, Seth Smith. Seth had a big night. 2 walks as each of his first 2 at bats, and RBI double in the 4th inning, grounded out in the 7th.
You can see how Paul Emmel, the home plate umpire, look where he centers himself, and so he's right. His eyes are right on that inside corner, and he hadn't missed a pitch there. But when he has to look across to the right-hander all night long, been a little inconsistent.
There is the shift. Sanchez, second baseman, out in right field. Smith down on the count 0-2. And a breaking ball.
And a good
Thought
one.
about it.
Yeah, that's how you try to throw it. Strike the ball, hope that he chases, and he didn't.
1 ball, 2 strike count on him with 2 down. Pitch on the way. Did he go? Nope. Ramon de Jesus down at third base.
Yeah, this is Ramon's looking at, and just kind of kept the bat head behind his hands. You could see him slyly look down to third, whether he was going to get his glove or not.
3 ball, 1 strike count. Look very carefully here. Walks fine with him, and that's exactly what he got. So Manaea surrenders the walk. That is the 6th walk picked up by the Orioles tonight. 5 of them surrendered by the starter Pelfrey, and the Oriole keeps the inning going here in the 8th, and that'll bring Adam Jones to the plate. Adam not coming out now. Base hit in the 4th inning. RBIs hit into a couple of double plays. India struck out, and enough seen as the middle part of this bullpen not getting the job done for a ball club that came in with a plus 21 in runs scored as opposed to runs surrendered. Plus 21 from the 7th inning on. Not so far in this game.
From the Yankees in the offseason, and he has pitched very well for him, even though he has struggled at late. I mean, started out the year about as good as you could be. And again, 15 games scoreless streak over 19 2/3 innings, and then 8 earned runs in his last 8 innings pitched. So pretty good with the inherited runners. Hard thrower, 95, 96, hard slider. Orioles first saw him way back when he came up with the Twins. Actually was a starting pitcher, a spot starter for him.
Now the Orioles have made it interesting. Adam Jones will come up with a runner on at first base. There are 2 down, 4 runs in here in the 8th inning. And Swarzak on the mound, 2nd time against the Orioles this year, just 2/3 of an inning in Baltimore. He didn't give anything up. Adam is 4 for 9 against Swarzak lifetime. Right-hander delivers to him, and it'll be 94 and up high.
Yeah, maybe a little more velocity and a little harder slider when he's pitching well. We'll see if that's the case tonight.
4th pitcher out of the bullpen for the White Sox. Manaea 2/3 of an inning, a strikeout, a walk, responsible for Seth Smith on at first base. Here's the 1-0 delivery. Swarzak turned that one towards the outside part of the plate, fouled away. 1-1.
Yeah, that's a hard slider.
Swarzak last year with New York appeared in 26 games, went 1-2, ERA 5.5. Spent a good deal of the season at AAA for the Yankees. Most of his major league service coming with Minnesota. One delivery on the way. Jones, big cut back over the screen. 1-2.
Yeah, wind at least now switching, blowing from left to right. And of course, that could be the lake effect. Lake Michigan.
Hot dog wrappers making their appearance.
Well, that's Chicago. I mean, you can drop 10-15 degrees in a matter of minutes. It's blowing off the lake.
Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way, and again down the line and foul. No play on that one. That will bring Smith out to the mound.
Yeah, that's certainly where he wanted that slider. And 1-2, you want to bury it, you want to have good tilt, you want to start it really in the zone and let it slide with that good tilt out of the strike zone, and he hung it.
Not expecting to have a big at bat for the Orioles here in the 8th inning, but suddenly it is. Down by 4. Adam Jones 1-2. Smith will get his lead off first. Adam will foul another one back. So the battle engaged here. Swarzak looking for a final out in the 8th inning, and the outs have not come easy. First 4 Orioles all scored. 1-2 delivery on the way, and he gets him on a pitch down and away. The Swarzak gets the out. The Orioles get 4 though. Kim had an RBI base hit, and then with a couple on, boom boom Mancini got it done. His 10th of the year. 3 RBIs, 10-6 White Sox. Time brought to you by Miller Lite.
Yeah, Devin Smith hits a home run, and then Sanchez comes right back, and little target practice 3 times in 2 starts. I'm sure Wade Miley said, "Who's talking about pitching away? I got to pitch in. Let him pull the ball." So Brad Brock comes in. He has not pitched since the 7th of the month of June. He hadn't in the last save opportunities all the way back on the 2nd of June against the Red Sox. So and he's kind of righted the ship. You know, struggle in a couple of outings. You know, all the way back in one against Washington where he gave up 3 runs.
Anderson goes after the first pitch. It'll go to right. Seth Smith underneath it puts it away, and Anderson retired here in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, this is all about for tomorrow. You know, get them ready. Close situation. You know, Zach Britton 5 for 5 in saves, but has pretty much been on the disabled list most of the season with forearm problems. Slowly getting back to the big leagues, hopefully.
Here's Cabrera. He has scored twice, reaching on a walk and a single when he did. He's had 2 singles. Robbed of a hit, 6th inning. Fine play made by Machado against him. So a 2 for 3 ball game for Melky Cabrera. He will take the pitch from Brad Brock for a strike. Cabrera against Brock has gone 2 for 5. Orioles will get one more chance at it. The middle of the order due up in the top of the 9th inning. Ball to center field. That's going to be a base hit. Hit number 14. Big turn made. Yep. Adam gets it in.
Yeah, they're still playing like it's a 1-run game. Yeah, a little change up. Yeah, Brad Brock, he had retired 21 out of the last 22 hitters. That's how good he's been.
So Melky Cabrera gets a 3-hit ball game. He'll take that. Here's Jose Abreu. Double single, 2 for 4, RBI, 2 runs scored. Brock's pitch to him is a strike at the knees. Short lead at first base. Real good slider away. Abreu chasing it. And an 0-2 count on him. Abreu's gone 0 for 3. The only times he has faced Brad Brock. Oh, 2-1 down. Brock a quick look and a foul ball. Castro worked an inning, a run on 2 hits. Evaldo Jimenez 3 2/3, 3 runs, 5 hits, and Wade Miley, the starter, who's still the pitcher of record on the losing side, 6 runs, 6 hits in 2 2/3 innings. Miley came in 1-3 lifetime against the White Sox. Oh-2 delivery on the way. Pelfrey. White Sox got their starter a big lead, but he couldn't even get through the 5th, so he ND'd in the ball game. 2 runs, 6 hits, 3 2/3. Petrichka, if the score stays, will get the win here. He's 2 1/3 of one-hit baseball with 4 strikeouts. Jose Abreu 0-2. Cabrera the lead at first base. Ground ball. Ooh-ah! Found it, lost it, gets it, and records the out.
And then throws high heat from about 45 feet to Trey Mancini. That's a nice play. How refreshing. You become a defender, and does he ever? Yeah. Reach, thought he had it in the glove, knocks it down, does not get the lead runner. And take a look. I mean, this is not an easy play at all. I mean, Brad Brock about 6'5". You give him another 10 inches of the mound. So well over 7.5 feet with the reach. Able to snare it.
So the runner moves down to second base with their 2 away. Melky Cabrera at second. Brad wanted to try for 2, but ball just came out of the glove. So Garcia's had a 2-hit ball game and 3 RBIs, and will take the pitch outside. Garcia after yet another RBI. We can get a base hit here.
Yeah, this is not the ideal way if you're Buck Showalter, you'd like to use your closer just to get him a tune-up inning, because he hasn't pitched since the 7th. It's been what, 5 days.
BCL Garcia will foul that one back.
I'd rather have them see him in a closed situation, but that's not going to be the case. And if you know Brad Brock, and we do, he doesn't want to give up a run here. It doesn't matter what the scoreboard says. He does not like to do that.
Garcia double single, 2 for 4 ball game. Great pitch. Came in on him that time. Couldn't let it go by, and a 1-ball 2-strike count.
Well, what he did, and again, this is a game of adjustment. I mean, he's got 3+ pitches. You know, the slider we've seen, a great split changeup. Mike Bordick calls it the turbo change. And you saw 97. But he tried to get a little taller, so again, he can use his height, and it's worked.
Melky Cabrera, free rein at second base with his lead, and the pitch will be up high. Evens the count up, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Outfield deep with Garcia's power. He's had 4 hits now in 16 at bats this year against the Orioles. His hits tonight have extended his hit streak to 5. 2-2 delivery by Brock. Brad gave up a run on a couple of hits in an inning and 2/3. He worked in a couple of ball games in the series in Baltimore. That'll be down low. The White Sox not giving up at bats here in the bottom of the 8th.
Yeah, that swing on the 2-2 fastball, he was right on it, and that's why he threw him a changeup. You try to read the bat, regardless of what the scoreboard says, and that's how you earn better pitches to hit sometimes, because you can instill fear. You're trying as you want to see where the barrel of the bat is. He just missed that fastball, and that's how well he's swinging.
3-2 delivery, backed off a little bit at 86.
Yeah, now these are all the pitches that last year probably would have swung through. This year, not the case. And he's had more experience than Aaron Judge, but that's what Judge has done.
Yeah.
They both worked on their swings. I mean, Aaron Judge said, I figured you strike out 42 times in 84 at bats. I need to keep the bat in the hitting zone longer, and he's done it. And so has Garcia.
He'll work again on the 3-2. Cabrera meandering around second base will wander back.
And like Aaron Judge, I mean, nobody's that big anymore at 6'7", 275. I mean, Garcia's 230 pounds, 6'4", so great extension, strength. Very athletic 26-year-old guy.
And Brock will win the battle. So Brad concludes it here. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. The Orioles will bat in the 9th, trailing by 4. Yes to low fares with nothing to hide. That's transparency. Gary Thorne and Jim Palmer as we go to the 9th inning here in Chicago. The White Sox leading it by a score of 10-6. Big offensive battle, and here in the top of the 9th inning, Swarzak will stay on. Got the strikeout to end the 8th inning. Machado, Trumbo, and Kim are due up against him. Manny making his way back with a base hit, a walk. He is struck out and grounded out. Swarzak's delivery to him is going to be a base hit into right field. It didn't wait long on that one, and the Orioles get what you got to do in the 9th. So when you're trying to come back, get that leadoff man on base.
Well, they need 3 outs, and they're trying to come up with that formula. He got away with a couple of pitches to Adam Jones, eventually made a good pitch. So right here, you have 4-run cushion. I mean, that's just a slider. This is the Manny Machado 285, 290 approach right here. Don't try to overswing. And there is the closer, Dave Robinson.
Well, the Orioles have got a dozen hits in this game. 2 of them by Trumbo in his last 2 at-bats. He's had a double, single, a run scored. He's walked, and he has struck out. 1 for 7 lifetime off Swarzak. As the Orioles have again mounted an attack late in the ball game, maybe too little too late. We'll see. 0-1 delivery to him is going to miss for a ball. Infante gave up the 4 runs in an inning plus on 4 hits. The second reliever for Chicago tonight. The other relievers short duty, have not surrendered a run yet. 1 ball, 1 strike delivery to him in the dirt. Stop made, pushes it away, and holds the runner at first. Strange game. Pelfrey starter, got an 8-2 lead and can't get through 5 innings. Didn't even come close. 3 2/3. Down to 3rd and foul. White Sox team that doesn't give anything up after the 7th inning. They've given up 4 so far in this ball game.
Well, they didn't go to their main guys, and that certainly helped, and you got to take advantage of that.
Yep.
And you never know, it may backfire. Yeah, the one thing the White Sox do, and you touched on it earlier, they do hit left-handed pitching. Came in 11-7, and Miley started left-handed. If they win tonight, there'll be 5 games over 500 and 2 games over 500 here at home.
2-2 delivery on the way. Comebacker. I don't think that hit his glove. There's 1 and not in time at first. Sanchez, difficult play there, whether to go to the bag or flip it, and he had trouble handling it anyway.
Yeah, not only that, it did a short hop. So again, almost thought you might get a deflection. Maybe you did a little bit. That's not an easy play. And then right here, get the lead runner. A little Robbie Alomar Baryshnikov throw. A nice play by Abreu, or otherwise it gets by him. So that was not an easy out. There's out number 1, and that's what they're looking for with a 4-run lead. At least get the lead runner.
They did so there. So 1 down. Trumbo's on at first base. Kim up, RBI base hit, and he is hit into a double play. Swarzak's pitch to him is a strike on the inside corner. So 1 down here in the top of the 9th inning. Oh, 1 count. Infield double play depth on him. Misses inside. Lefty's hitting 226 off Swarzak. 1-1 delivery on the way. Kim back upstairs on the 93-mile-an-hour fastball. 1-2. Still look back on those first 3 innings. The Orioles could have done anything with those runners on, and credit Pelfrey getting those ground ball double plays. They were big when the Orioles looked like they were going to get a lead early in the ball game.
Yeah, 4 total tonight, but 3 early. And then the misplayed balls, or the balls you know, Smith loses it in the light. Adam Jones, the ball goes a little bit farther. That added another 3 runs. But at the end of the day, you're still giving up more runs than you want. Right?
A lot more. 1-2 delivery on the way, and that'll be way up high.
I get the idea that Anthony Swarzak is not about, he's going to try to overpower you and then eventually get to the slider.
Long night for Renteria with the ball club having the lead at Leeds, let it add. And again, Kim battles. Count stays at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Young-Soo Kim. Pitch on the way to him, and that'll be down low. We haven't counted the full counts we've had in this game, but there have been a lot of them on both sides, going right back to the beginning of the ball game. Pelfrey went 3-2 a number of times. Wade Miley did, and the bullpens have continued that throughout the game. 3-2, 1 down. Left-hander up, so Abreu moves off the bag a couple of steps. Trumbo, the runner, behind him, and the 3-2 deliveries in the air, left field. Cabrera, long run. Nice play. He had a long way to go, and he makes a nice play.
Yeah, again, the wind all night blowing, never took his eyes off it. And then, of course, doesn't run into the tarp or the wall.
So 2 away here in the 9th. Jonathan Scope, base hit, run scored, hit by a pitch, run scored. He has walked and struck out. Jonathan will stand in, not going to hold Trumbo. Abreu will play way back behind him at first base. 2 outs, top of the 9th inning. Trumbo will take second. Used to be called defensive indifference. Now they label it a fielder's choice as the official rulebook ruling. Not a stolen base when no play is made. Oh, 1 count, 2 down. Jonathan, that's a big hit, because that's going to get a run home. It'll be played by Cabrera, going to second base. Here's the throw. You got to be kidding. He's out. Oh!
Well, that's twice tonight. He almost ran himself out of the inning. Once when they were down 6-0, and now to end the game. This is not a good decision. You're down by 3. And again, the White Sox say thank you very much, as they're going to take this out. I mean, very nice throw, and Jonathan not particularly thinking much on this play, out easily.
The Orioles are going to challenge. There's no reason not to. Your hope is to keep the ball game alive.
Yeah,
throw
the old
by
day,
Cabrera,
yeah.
Good one by Melky Cabrera.
Yeah, well, again, he made a great throw and almost threw him out at third. And in the old days, again, if the ball beats you, you're always out. Now with the, so did he miss him and not tag him to the chest? Hard to tell from that angle, but he takes the tag off. So
he may have missed him.
Again, hard to tell right there. And the hands on the base when he does tag him in the chest. Well, maybe the Orioles get a break here. So again, just remember, they have to have something to change. And I mean, the left hand looked like it could have gotten to the base before he tagged him on the chest. I don't know if there's enough to change the call.
This will take a while.
Yep. So again, in the old days, you're out because the ball is there, the glove down by Sanchez, but he doesn't get the left hand. So he's safe, I think. Now, whether they change it or not is a whole other story.
I mean, that
great
is
camera work right there to show you that
the run counts. Kim had crossed before, if it was an out, before the out had been recorded. And if it isn't, I mean, the Orioles are right in it with 2 down in the 9th inning.
Well, that was not very good base running at all. And again, you're not the tying run. I mean, it might be a little bit different if you were going to make it between 1 run.
So he'd been able to get to his hand, he would have been out, but he got around him, touches the bag.
Yeah, he's safe. Yeah. So there, it looks to me there is enough, at least on that picture, to change it. You know, whether they will or not.
All the guys are looking up at the scoreboard here where they replay.
And Miguel Gonzalez, former Oriole, I mean, he's hanging over there right there. He's saying, okay, what's it going to be?
Hey, you don't get a lot of these on the end of a ball game, but that's what we're looking at here. Whether or not the final out has been recorded at second base or not.
Well, that's going to get David Robertson in the game if they call him safe. You know, when you see it 3 or 4 times, you could see why there may be enough evidence to change it.
Again, it's the standard here, the burden of proof, if you will. Has to be conclusive evidence the call on the field was wrong. Here we go. So that will end the ball game, and the Orioles here in the 9th inning will pick up a run on a couple of hits, and the final out will be the toss by Melky Cabrera to Sanchez at second base, and the Orioles lose their 5th in a row as the White Sox win it 10-7.